Hey,
What is up? It's your boy Ryan.
it's your boy Eazy.
And you are listening to Turtle Soup, the internet, nay, the world's only community-supported podcast dedicated to the ongoing journey of the TMNT, all the way from the very beginning
Ooh,
until I find something to plug the hole left in our heart, in my heart and my family's collective heart, after finishing Avatar: The Last Airbender as a family, the animated series.
That's super cute.
For the first time. And it's going to take a while. You know what I mean? So the podcast is good for a minute. A couple notes. First of all, we are on YouTube. If you're not already subscribed, please subscribe. It helps the show. Hit the bell icon, get all the cool notifications. If you're listening on our audio platforms, be sure to subscribe there, as well as share the podcast if you've done all this stuff. And let people know the show is going down, because it is going down, and we are in a very exciting part of the TMNT journey right now. Speaking of things that are very exciting, I am always excited every time I see the shining livery of our Patron Ranger group.
Yes.
Probably might be a little confusing sounding, because it's like Patron Ranger, but we're a TMNT podcast, not a Sentai podcast. But you can be a member of Patron Ranger. You can help us not say clang for as little as $1. If you go over to patreon.com and check us out, Turtle Soup Show, see what we've done been making this podcast, see that we've been doing this. And two important, and this is important, if you get in Patron Ranger, you get your name read out like these two awesome people. Our two wonderful patrons this episode is dedicated today are Ryan Ragland and Lauren.
There you go.
So thanks, guys, for making this work.
Yes.
And for helping us not say clang. You are always supporting the show, and we really appreciate it.
Appreciate
Again, you can support the show for as little as $1 and get all the garbage and the content all in one. Speaking of content and a little bit of garbage, where are we at on the journey today, Eazy?
All right. Well, we are in the year of 2004, which is wild that's so long
that we're
ago.
actually here.
We're here. We're doing Tales of the TMNT Volume 2, Issue number 5 from September of 2004, and we're also doing Mirage Comics TMNT Volume 4, Issue 18 from October 2004.
Yeah.
So that's where we're at. But you mentioned garbage, Ryan. What kind of garbage you got going on?
Well, I've been preoccupied. I need you and the Turtletarians' opinion on something.
Okay.
I have been fascinated by piloting an aircraft lately.
Okay.
And this is thanks to a channel on YouTube, which I'm almost hesitant to shout out. I am going to shout out, but I'm hesitant to shout out.
Okay.
Because if you get stuck in the rabbit hole like me, then you could find yourself into like an old man, like, look at that plane, like kind of place, and that's where I'm getting. Okay. So the channel is called Mentor, Mentoru, and he has a couple channels. There's Mentor Now and there's Mentor Pilot, I think. Either way, it is a European Boeing 737 pilot. Okay. Who puts together anywhere from an hour down to like 45-minute, usually, documentaries on every single plane crash and incident that's ever happened. From an angle not only of a pilot who knows everything. He's not just a 737 rated pilot. He's also a rated instructor for his company, which instructor captains are like even one step above a regular like captain who's on the plane. Right. That means you're like a captain's captain. You are instructing new pilots in simulators and live in the cockpit. So he knows everything. And his whole angle, now at first you might go, well, that's a little morbid. Right. You're watching all these plane disasters. But not only does he thoroughly explain them in a way that you can understand. So you start understanding really complicated systems of flight that you didn't think you ever would. Yeah. But then he always makes sure to basically cover at the end what the investigation found, as well as how it made flying safer. Oh, okay. Because the whole idea is his whole thing. He has like a dual kind of thing where it's like, number one, he's speaking to real aspiring pilots, like the next generation of pilots. He wants them to learn from these things. Yeah. But also to just people who are interested in avionics, whether it's playing Flight Simulator, whether it's just being a plane watcher, like a fan of planes, or just want to feel safer flying. It offers entertainment because you're like, ooh, this is not going to be good. It's very like dark. And now it doesn't always end in like mass casualties. He'll cover an incident where somebody bailed out of it and they landed the plane like a miracle as easily as he'll cover a terrible tragedy. But they always have that angle of like criticizing what the pilots did, criticizing everything like it's a report. And at the end, you feel better, actually. And I'm kind of a scared flyer. Like I kind of think like this is a aluminum tube in the air and who knows what's going to happen every time I fly. Yeah. But he does a good job, and he has hundreds of these videos. You will not run out. Yeah. Like I'm on the rabbit hole where next suggested. Yeah. And it's got good thumbnails. It's like, how could this happen? Right. Or like, like twin engine flame out at 3,500 feet. I'm like, yeah. Oh yeah. Like, but I gotta say, it's got your boy wanting to play some flight simulator really bad. Oh, okay. Like, and I know people have these rigs, but I started looking at like the controllers they have, and like they have like the cockpit, like they have the thrust section, and then they have like the flight computer, and like each of these costs like $200. Like they're actually not that expensive. No. You start to build all the equipment, like the radio, whatever, because the less you're clicking in the software, the more you're actually controlling the like I now understand the difference between like Airbus and Boeing planes, like the way they're flown. I now know, this is a fun one. I'll close on this. Okay. I did not know that the oxygen masks that come down during flight, I thought they were all connected to like oxygen bottles, like oxygen in a bottle. They're not. They are chemical oxygen generators. Oh. This is very interesting. Okay. And some people probably know this. They're like, yeah, dumbass.
I thought they were for ornamental. I thought they were just
they're not connected to anything. They're nothing. Like, they're just like a party balloon. Yeah, it's like, you're going to die anyway. So the pilots are on canister oxygen. Okay. But canister oxygen has to be like maintained. Almost like a fire extinguisher, right? You got to make sure it's got enough oxygen. They have to be fully bled and then re-injected with oxygen to make sure they hold pressure. Yeah. If the fittings have to be replaced because it's very important. Like that bottle's got to work. If there's a fire going on or something like that, the pilots have to have like oxygen that's not connected to the rest of the plane. Right. It's got to be pure. It's got to be ready to go because they're getting you to the ground. Well, maintaining that many oxygen bottles for everybody on board would be wildly expensive and would fail more often. Yeah. So they have these bottles that when you pull on the mask, it triggers a hammer to hit a percussion cap. Oh. And there's chemicals inside this thing that create a chemical reaction that results in O2 and table salt. Oh, okay. Table salt's what's left in the canister. Right. And you get O2 and you get a mixture of O2 and the cabin oxygen that has nitrogen. Right. So you don't immediately feel lightheaded or pass out because of too much oxygen, actually. Right. What I didn't know, and this led to a major airline disaster, was that these things exotherm like crazy. Okay. The chemical reaction, now when they're up in the plane, they're kept in a metal cage that has holes in it, specifically designed to that surface can get up to like 700 degrees. Yeah. It's very hot. So imagine like your oven is at like 400 degrees to cook something. Imagine like almost double that. Right. That's the outside of this thing. But because it's in its little cage and it's protected and insulated, it's okay. You might smell like the smell of burning. It's only because all the dust that gets on there is burning off. It's burning off. Like my aunt in practice that one when I fired up the first time, and all the tubes were dusty, and all we smelled was just like burning for like a while. However, these expire after 12 years, which is really cool that they can sit there for 12 fucking years and like and like they're fine. 11 days, 11 years, 350 days. You pull that thing, and it's oxygen for everybody. Pretty cool. Yeah. Except every 12 years, they have to be replaced. It's a major overhaul. Well, this one company that was really shitty, they basically were like, what? You're supposed to put a cap on there that stops the hammer from potentially hitting that percussion cap, starting the whole process. Well, one guy actually dropped one and saw that all it did was get a little hot. And he's like, all these things are like burst into flames or something. And all the mechanics are like, that's some bullshit. Yeah. So they didn't have the safety caps, so they loaded them into cardboard boxes, and because they belonged to the airline, and that they were in a place that wasn't their home office. It wasn't their home. They didn't have their stuff. It was at another airport. They did this work at. Gotcha. They were like, well, pack them on the plane and send them back to the home strip. except one went off.
Ooh.
And the last thing I'll say is this was on a plane called a DC-9, a McDonnell Douglas DC-9. It's an older plane.
Okay.
But their DC-9s were made kind of in the 60s.
Okay.
And there are 2 cargo compartments. There's one on the rear that has fire extinguishers, like halon bottles, and smoke detectors. But the front cargo compartment does not have that. And that is because they designed it to be airtight. So any fire that would start would put itself out because it has no oxygen.
Yeah.
Now, what's the problem with storing those oxygen generators in there?
Well, you have the heat that's still,
And then what do they do?
It'll combust, right?
Yeah, but what does it produce? The canisters. What do they?
Oh,
produce?
they produce oxygen. Yeah.
They make their own oxygen.
Yeah.
So that whole nothing can catch fire in here because and there needs to be no smoke detectors because whatever is true except unless it's making its own oxygen. Plane completely burned up. Broke up mid-flight, like whatever, crashed, whole 9 yards. Just because that happened, and that's it. So they had to redesign everything and whatever. And that's actually one of the biggest things that put the DC-9 out of service because the NTSB and FAA were basically like, you have to retrofit these old planes with like fire extinguishers, all of these systems. Everything has to be able to be controlled from the cockpit as well. So you have to redo the cockpit, fuselage, the panels. And a lot of companies were like, guess we'll just not fly DC-9s.
Yeah. Jeez.
Yeah. So and that is all in one video. The whole thing is in one like hour-long video. You learn about all that. Really interesting stuff. Anyway, it's Mentor, MENTOUR, and they're fascinating. And hopefully you don't get caught like I get caught, and you're not like looking at like, well, I mean, is $500 a lot of money for a full cockpit? If you're not there, hopefully you don't get there.
Yeah.
But if any of you guys are into aviation or into flight sim or anything like that, like definitely reach out because it's actually really interesting. It's fascinating.
Out of all the turtles, who do you think would be into it more than
Donnie?
The other? You think Donnie?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I think the technicalities would get him. I think he'd be like really into. But Leo's he's cool.
So I definitely don't think Raph could do it.
Yeah, no, Raph would not be a good pilot.
No, I think Leo
would be a good like captain.
I think Leo
he keeps things calm,
but he also likes procedures.
He does,
and he likes like orchestration structure, and so I could see that element appealing to him because it's not a physical martial arts necessarily, but it is a practiced discipline to learn how to be a pilot.
Oh my god, and the amount of stuff you have to do, like. I mean, and you know that pilots are busy. You know that they have all these flaps up. Like they have all this stuff going on.
Right.
But the more you watch this channel, the more you realize like they have a lot of like flights have to seem like really short to them.
Yeah.
Because you think, oh, this is a 5-hour flight. So you're like, okay, well, like 5 hours, what are they doing? They're just cruising on autopilot.
Right.
But it's like, no, they're constantly talking to air traffic control, getting lined up for the next beacon they have to hit. And by the way,
well, because you might not know this, but like when you play video games and they have you can first learn to fly and you got to fly through the rings to show you how to fly. That happens in the air.
That happens
every
in the air.
pilot.
Every pilot has to fly
every
through
pilot.
Rings up there.
It's true.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of stuff, and there's a lot. And whenever something goes wrong, there's a lot you have to do. But like, there's stuff that goes wrong on flights all the time, which freaks me out a little bit because like the pilot's like, oh, they lost engine power. This alone is not very concerning. I'm like,
excuse me.
Wait a minute. One of the 2 engines went down, and that alone is not concerning.
Right.
Then he starts to explain it. He's like, most times when an engine goes down, you can find the problems, and you can probably get it to restart. Very rarely does an engine just not restart. There's just an issue that you need to work around. And I'm like, but it involves going through checklists and knowing there's like things called memory items you should know.
Do they have?
Interesting.
Does he have an episode about how they solved the gremlin on the wing problem from Twilight Zone?
Not yet. But then again, he has hundreds of episodes.
Oh, so you might not have gotten
I keep finding new ones.
Yeah.
Like I keep waiting for the thing that always happens with YouTube channels I get really into, where all of a sudden the suggested video has a red line. You're like, oh, I watched that.
Yep.
Now I need to go to their channel, look through videos, and you realize you've watched all of them.
Mm-hmm.
This guy just keeps having them.
Oh my goodness.
And the last thing I'll say is they are very professionally made. I mean, he has a whole team. So there are full on like simulators of like you see what's happening with the plane. He explains everything. Everything is explaining graphics, and he teaches you as you go about like stuff like crew resource management, which is like a modern technique to make sure that everybody in the cockpit is like doing their job.
That sounds like a Leo thing.
It sounds like a Leo thing but you got to watch out sometimes though, because they deal also with the power dynamic.
Okay.
So if you have a very assertive captain and a first officer who is maybe a little less experienced, he might just do whatever the captain says. So the captain is under some illusion. He's lost his perspective.
Yeah.
He thinks they're heading toward the ground, but they're really not. And he starts, do this, do that, do this, because he thinks they're crashing.
Right.
The first officer might be like, we're not crashing. But they might go, well, he is the captain.
Ooh. Okay.
And other way around. Sometimes
Gotcha.
the first officer actually has more experience than a captain. And the first officer will start commanding things, and the captain might get a little upset, and you have to think about that. So that's where I think the brothers and the turtles, bringing it back to turtles, will be interesting. Because you have to have two brothers that work together well. I think Leo and Don would be your captain and first officer.
Yeah.
Because I think Don can listen to reason, and he can maybe cool down Leo when Leo gets a little too tunnel. That's called tunneling. Like when and you see all the time when you fly a car, when you drive a car, like if you're just driving, looking down the road, it's all good. Then all of a sudden you have like an overheat signal comes down, and you're like, oh my god, my car's overheating. You're not looking at the road anymore. Probably you're looking down how bad's the temperature. You're thinking, do I turn the heater on? All these things. Well, if you have a passenger in the car, they should be naturally like, I'm looking at the road. Or I'll take care of the overheating, Eric. You have the wheel. You look at the road. I'll work on that. That's how it's supposed to work in a cockpit. So I think Donnie and Leo could go back and forth well.
What's that noise I keep hearing?
Oh, it's me playing with this thing.
For 20 minutes, I've been sitting here like,
I didn't even know you could hear that. I've been trying with my mic, but I think my mic's rejecting it.
I thought I was kicking my chair, so I stopped, and then I moved a little bit, and I heard it, and I was like, oh, is it me? Is it me? Is it me? And then do you have that thing where like, you know what? You've heard, I've done that before. I've made that sound with that thing, and the sound in the picture like finally lined up.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, I bet he's got that in his hand. And then sure enough, that's what it was.
See, you knew it. No, like this is great. This would be a great fidget if it didn't make noise, because you can unscrew this, you can turn, you can collapse it, but that sound.
It's a
that's what you're hearing.
So basically, it's a camera like hinge thing
like
to mount a camera on.
Like you could alter it. It's very fun to play with, but I probably should not make so much noise with it. Anyway, that's me. I know that was long.
What was the plane that they discontinued?
Or they retired at the DC-9.
Yeah. Well, speaking of retiring, we got to talk about San Diego Comic-Con. So,
talk about a retirement.
Yes.
For the ages.
Yeah, this is kind of it's a little rough, but yeah, I'm gonna have to take off the glasses.
No, you should. It's end of an era. You get them fogged up.
Yeah, I know.
End of an era.
Yeah. So San Diego Comic-Con 2026 happened last week, and we got the news early on from I think we first heard it from the website or the social media account Toy Shiz, which is a great resource for action figures. But then Pixel Dan, I think, also somewhere in there put out his video about the news that NECA is no longer making TMNT toys. And I watched the video and I saw some of the other stuff that was going on around it, and it definitely seems like a little bit of a they don't want to get anyone's hopes up because they don't know, but at the same time it also felt like they're not telling us everything.
Okay.
And so I don't know. I don't want to.
It might still be, like they don't necessarily want to say it's done, but they.
Well, it doesn't really affect them too much saying it's done. Like it's not like they're losing anything because it's done.
Yeah.
And vice versa, I think. But the good thing about it is that you get the news, you get the people paying attention to your brand, and then might be like coming in and swooping up the last bits. Because most people in the toy community don't. If you're new to it, you don't realize that the most expensive toys are the ones that come at the end of the line because people have either stopped collecting or moved on, or they didn't make as many of them. Yeah. So there's that element of it. But just the way that things were, it just felt kind of, and it could be that that's how they were handling their emotions about it, because it's kind of like, bummer. And again, if you're still new to this whole thing, in last year in December, we got the news that Playmates no longer had the license to TMNT, and they have had it for so long. They've been kind of like,
since the beginning.
Since the beginning, until Mattel comes in.
No, there's been no one else,
right? And so
has made like the main line, like action figure,
right.
not collectibles, but the action figure
right.
line started with Playmates. They're part of the fabric,
absolutely, and they are the license. They were the license holder. So if you wanted to make Turtles toys, you had to talk to them, and they seemed to be pretty agreeable to pretty much anybody doing it. So there was a ton of Turtles
there's
toys.
a lot of little stuff, not always like even in the 6-inch scale. They had those like keychain guys, the random box thing. They had so much stuff,
all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
And so something happened, and Mattel got to where they could get the license for Turtles, and now they own it. And so we started to think that maybe that's going to cause some problems. And then sure enough, that's where we hear that this is the end of the line. But
God damn, that's such a long legacy.
It is.
It was. That's crazy.
The Playmates, the fact that Playmates aren't going to be making them anymore is wild in and of itself.
Yeah.
The NECA thing is interesting because it has been a while. But they lost they got the license or the rights to make some Turtles figures back in 2006, 7, or 8, one of those.
That was your original NECA Turtles.
Right.
That the black and white run, all that.
They had the black and white
that.
ones.
Yep.
They had the red bandana ones, and then they made they didn't make them, but they had the colored bandana knockoffs that came out of those and things like that. And then there was a bunch of years that they didn't do anything. And then they come back, they got the license, they start putting out figures, and they've been doing it ever since. But there's a part of me that feels like Mattel probably wanted them to, hey, pump the brakes a little bit. Let us get our footing and our thing going, and then maybe we can revisit this.
How this works.
Right, and see what we can do. Because the problem is, well, it's good and bad, because Mattel does make collector lines. They do for He-Man, and I don't remember what else. Well, now that Mattel also has DC now. They got it back, because they had it for DC Universe Classics.
Hasbro?
They got it from McFarlane. So
Mattel
had, I don't remember who had all the DC stuff before, but Mattel had DC in the early 2000s for a long time, and they were doing Universe Classics and a bunch of other stuff. And then McFarlane took it over a couple years ago, and then now they're back to it. And the figures they're making are pretty decent. They've got some that are in the 6-inch scale, but they don't. I think they're missing an ab crunch and something else. But the sculpt and everything is still really good, and they're about like $12 to $15, which kids can kind of maybe afford that.
Yeah.
But the $20 and $30, that's a little much for kids,
a bit steep,
and even adults. Speaking as one, and but they look great, and so. There is a chance that Mattel's going to try to do their own hand at the collector's thing.
Collector's market.
Right. So, it's very bittersweet.
It really is.
They did so much. And the good thing is that they did, I think they did almost everything from the animated series. There's a couple of things they left out they didn't get to. They didn't get to season 9 or 10. So you don't get Carter and Dreg and all them. But the majority of main characters that are there are very well represented. And then the comics got a bunch of stuff, but we didn't get like a Shadow. We didn't get there's somebody else from the comics that I can't remember. Oh, well, we didn't get Bloodsucker, but that's probably a rights issue.
Yeah, that was Rick Fitch. I was pretty sure that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, there would have been. I could see them
really go through it.
Right. Almost all the movie stuff got made, and that's really cool. And we'll talk about the thing that you wanted to talk about in a second. And then the what was it? Oh, the Mutanimals. So the Mutanimals got the entire Mutanimals team is there.
Yes.
My only issue with the Archie, and that's the one that I'm really upset with, is the Archie line.
That was still fledgling. Like there was a lot more to do.
Right. And a
lot more to do.
They could have done. I would have been okay if we would have got an Ninjara.
Yep.
And an April from Archie, because you can kind of
like,
fudge.
Like we talking about like red jumpsuit, April, like
kind of like the jacket, like when she's got the jacket thing. Yeah,
okay, yeah.
And Oyuki would have been cool too, but like,
sure.
That's those two are kind of like big, heavy hitters in that book. Yeah. I wanted Alfalca and I wanted Chin-Con.
You have like the ancillary.
Yeah.
I guess they're mutanimals in a way, but like, the outside group.
Right. And so I'm very kind of about that. But what we've got, the fact that we have the mutanimals is awesome. And just everything has been so well represented. I'm not upset, but I'm also trying to remind myself that this is not the first time that NECA has had to take a reprieve and then come back.
True.
And they've done even more and better stuff. So that's really cool.
No, I mean, like Mattel may take their hand and they might look and realize that like they can't service it or that, why wouldn't you just let NECA continue?
Right.
But there's a lot of that now. They're probably scrambling because of financial reasons. They're kind of like, well, like, do we make more money licensing to NECA than we could make making the figures and doing it ourselves?
That's a good question.
And if those numbers look like the NECA way is more profitable, they'll take the NECA
Right.
way.
That's a very good question. And we don't know that because I don't think that Mattel has had a situation like this necessarily. They have Masters of the Universe stuff coming out from Mondo and some other stuff. So, but those are
outsourced.
Those are hundreds of dollars of action figures.
Yeah, we're looking at like I don't call them statues, but they're approaching the price range of statues.
And so it's a different ballgame, but it's still the idea that they're working with other people with their property.
So who does Mattel have right now besides the Turtles, obviously Barbie, stuff like that?
So Mattel has Barbie, He-Man, and by effect She-Ra, Hot Wheels, and DC. And then now Ninja Turtles. So yeah, Hasbro, if I recall,
not a bad portfolio.
That's not a bad portfolio.
Yeah.
Hasbro has, because Hasbro's doing this thing now where they're the license holder for Power Rangers and Fortnite 6-inch figures. At least that's how it's been.
Yeah.
And then Hasbro has G.I. Joe Classified, and there's another thing I can't think of right now. Oh, Mattel also has WWE. That's the other thing.
It's a good one.
Yep. So
that's a good one. That's the spicy one.
There's a lot there.
That's spicy.
And I think they also, I forget which one has Jurassic Park, but one of them has Jurassic Park. I want to say Mattel has it. And so there's a ton of stuff in the toy aisle with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, now the other toy company that's coming up is Jada, and Jada is fantastic. They're doing Street Fighter, Scooby-Doo, and Mega Man, and they're about to do the Invincible line, and that is, I'm ecstatic about that.
Yeah.
But before we move on from Turtles, and I just want to mention a couple things from San Diego that I was excited about. But yeah, you mentioned about how we had a bet if NECA was going to get to making the Raphael where you could take the head off
up on the way
and have
this episode
and have your boy Ernie Reyes Jr.'s head on there. Now they did not officially make this. However, I'm not sure because I don't have an Ernie Reyes Jr. figure. I just haven't procured one. I don't know that you can't do it yourself, but I do believe the stipulation was they put it out. Now, I do think they probably would have gotten to it if they would have kept going, but they definitely stopped. So yeah.
No, but it was so funny because like to fill people in who haven't heard this, when NECA was making in their heyday, Eric just made a comment because as we know, Ernie Reyes Jr. from TMNT 2 was one of the Kino from TMNT 2 was a turtle suit actor in TMNT 1.
Yeah.
The original motion picture.
I think he played Raph, but I could be mistaken.
Yeah, I know I'm a little fuzzy on that. But Eric postulated that they were, and I at the time I verified. He said, "Oh yeah, I bet you because they already have the head sculpt for Ernie Reyes Jr. for Kino that they're going to basically create a pack where you can upgrade one of the movie 1 Turtles." Where you could put Kino's head on there because there's pictures and it's true, there are plenty of pictures of him standing there in one of the turtle costumes.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit like, and it's also kind of canon, like to have that picture and people, that's a picture people see a lot when they see about Ernie Reyes Jr.
Right.
I said at the time, no shot.
Yeah.
I'm like, they're not going to put out an accessory pack with Ernie Reyes Jr.'s fucking head.
Yeah.
And Eric's like, just you see. Because Eric thought he had a bead. Now, I am not trying to celebrate the end of NECA or
No.
That is, but I could not help but think when it was announced, no new. I was like, did I win my bet?
Well, I think you did. Yes.
I'm pretty sure I won my bet.
Because the thing is that they would have
just saying.
They were on like the second or third reissue of the movie Turtles in the 6-inch scale.
Yeah.
And so if they were going to go to a fourth reissue because they were making the different facial things.
Sure.
So you would think that they would do that. That the fourth one would be
you think it was going to be the fourth one.
They would try and it's not so much that I knew it was going to be the fourth one then. I was thinking about like, oh, well, these are out. They're talking about reissuing them and they're giving them different facial expressions. So they're already looking at the head because that's the only thing that really changes throughout the body.
Yeah. So Buck's still the same.
Right. So you could easily put that on there. Unfortunately, they didn't get to the that iteration. But still, that's unfortunate. However, congratulations.
It's the only silver lining.
It's the only silver lining.
No,
there you go.
It's not. I mean, I would have been happy to lose the bet.
Sure.
To see an accessory pack that only contained Turtles heads and Ernie Reyes' soul head.
Right.
That would have been
They
worth
did release one with Ernie Reyes' soul. Because you said soul head, and I know what you meant, but like they did have his soul. It's a soul version of Ernie Reyes.
Okay.
Yeah, but other than they didn't get to
that wasn't the deal.
It wasn't the deal. It wasn't the deal.
We didn't say a turtle body with his soul in it.
Right. Yeah. They give a little bit of Ernie Reyes' soul,
like literally from his soul.
He's like, all right, you got to siphon it. It's like just a little bit each one.
But does soul come back like blood? Like if you do a soul donation, like you give like a liter of soul.
Oh,
do you gain that liter of soul back, or is it like that's it?
That's an interesting.
You just give it away. That's it.
You just give it away. Give it away, y'all.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Give it away now.
Yeah, but speaking to things that you would think that they would never make, a lot of toys back, especially in the Masters of the Universe Classics heyday, people were talking about how they weren't going to make heads, disembodied heads. This was like, it was funny in the toy community because it felt like you saw a lot of people like scoffing at that idea.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
As if like it's some kind of like a conservative kind of like, well, they would never. Like I would, some kind of thing that's like not a prude, I guess, but there's something in there where someone's
it's a pack of heads. It looks like
it's macabre,
like decapitated people.
Precisely. Well, Jada, the company that's doing Street Fighter, they've done all the Street Fighter 2 figures, and they're about to go into Street Fighter Alpha. Well, for San Diego, they put out a loser head thing because when you lose in Street Fighter, you get all busted
That's
up.
Awesome.
Yeah, and so they had a bunch of them. I didn't get it.
Where you need it. That is where you need them.
Yeah,
that's a great.
It's a great idea.
Head alternate,
so
without a doubt.
They are fantastic. They're one of my favorite toy companies right now. But since we're talking about the Turtles and their indie books, which a lot of us tend to forget that the Turtles are an indie comic. Like we kind of think of them as being so big that they're just their own thing.
It's true,
but they definitely are. And I say that because, and this is gonna, I'm gonna say this, and we're gonna get into the actual issues. I'm gonna transition as we do it. But I'm
waiting.
Yeah. So I've been talking about Madman. That I've been reading Madman because I saw Big Bad did a thing of it, and I seen him in Wizard. I was like, oh, I want to get this figure. Let's read it. And I'm reading the books, and so I'm reading these indie books, and they're great. Well, same thing happened with Tick. Except you remember the Tick, right?
Oh, dude, yeah.
Yeah, Spoon. So they have him, and he looks awesome. I'm going to hand him to.
Ooh, let me see.
So,
he does look great.
Yeah, he first was the first one in this line of long box heroes that they are making, and so I was like, oh, well, let me go back and read some Tick and watch some Tick because I liked it. I just need to make sure that I remember not fully understanding how meta it was and how it was a commentary on a lot of stuff. And now watching it, I absolutely love it. And reading the books, they feel a lot like old TMNT. And it's great because they're black and white, the early books. Yeah, there you go.
Coming up on camera good?
Yeah, a little bit,
Boy right there.
Yeah. And
that's your boy.
So it feels, because the early issues of his are black and white.
Oh, nice.
And so it's got that real feel turtle skin. And you know what I'm saying?
Yes, it's got that turtle skin.
So, yeah. So, but I like when I was reading the issues for this week, I just kind of, it coalesced with like me reading the issues of Tick that I've been going through. And I'm like, oh, this is neat but like, you know, we were kids. I did an interview. I did a review of the San Diego stuff, and I was talking about it on my channel on Eazy Opens, and I was talking about how, like, you know, back in the day we didn't have money to just like, even these issues are like $2.95. So like as kids, you can only spend so much to read these books.
No, it's expensive.
And I have to know what's happening with X-Men to be cool at the lunch table. So like no one's really gonna care.
Mid 90s, early 90s X-Men comes first.
Yeah, exactly. And so
then we could maybe have a conversation about Excalibur and we get into like other stuff.
Right.
Without a doubt.
And but then at that point that's your allowance. You're already done. Like you get into all the X teams.
They're like double shipping those X books and X-Force.
Right. So
baby, that's expensive.
Yeah, so it's been interesting to go back to something too, that because Turtles was kind of up there too, that you could be aware of it, but like not many kids in the playground, or at least in where we're from, seem to be up on it. But
not in the comics. I mean, you want to talk Turtles, you were talking animated series or
precisely
movies. I mean, that's all there really was to it.
Right. And so it's just been real interesting seeing all that. But unfortunately, NECA's out, but we'll see.
And maybe not out for the count. You know what I mean? We do have to see.
Yeah.
But, I hope everything resolves well. Because I think NECA still had a lot to do. And they were still doing it, which shows you it's profitable.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like these Mutanable figures, like they were still running down the line. So
So
we'll see.
We'll see. But right now, let's get into these issues.
You want to see about this issue coming up?
That's what it is.
So this is Mirage. This is TMNT Volume 4, Issue 18. Cover date of October 2004. It was $2.95 on the stand or $4.10 in Canada. See, when you crest $4 for a comic book, and I know this is Canadian dollars and they're like hat money, so it's a little different.
Yeah.
America's hat money. But like that starts to like you hear $3. Now, granted, this was a bi-monthly book, so this was every 60 days.
Right.
$3 every 60 days, or $4.10 in the hat is not bad.
Yeah.
But remember, this is 2004.
Yeah.
Money meant more even then.
It did.
And I don't have rate of inflation numbers on me right now.
Right.
Which I would like to have right now.
Oh, of course.
But I'm just not going to look it up. It's up there.
Yeah.
But for at this point, what is now a pretty thick volume.
I was going to say,
40 pages.
Yeah.
It's a lot more than what Marvel was dropping or DC was dropping per issue. So,
oh yeah, I was getting these. Not, I definitely was stopped at 18, but like, I got a first handful of them, and they were heavy. Like they were thick. They felt like you're getting your money's worth.
Yeah, like damn near like a magazine.
Yeah.
But anyway, what do you think of this cover, Eric?
I absolutely love it.
It's one of the better covers.
The colors are fantastic. The digital painting is just so good.
It looks great.
And for being such a new medium still at the time, it looks like it's so proficient. It feels like it's.
Well, you feel like it's getting so, like by 2004, it's getting really good.
Yes.
Like looking back
exponentially.
at some of our late 90s, like
that's right.
Like,
yeah.
It was like, look, guys, it's digital, and everyone's like, wow. Now you're starting to get to like, it's digital,
right?
You can see it, but
that line is blurred. Yeah.
Or did someone really like color the fuck out of this?
Right.
And you start to wonder.
And this is like, I mean, Fugitoid's fantastic, and his design is so simple but so good.
And I love it, by the way. Not like Fugitoid has not been retconned in appearance. That is like one thing that's like kind of important to think about.
Oh yeah,
this design was the design
from the 80s. Yeah,
from the 80s. Like, granted, I'm sure that there's been style guide changes to him, like things that you couldn't illustrate before, like panel, like where panel lines are,
right? Little
stuff like that has been worked out. But like this is Fugitoid.
Yeah.
And I just love that.
Yeah. And so for our audio listeners, this is an actual scene from the book, which is great. It's Fugitoid is getting some work done on him. Like he's getting some surgery. Some metal surgery going on.
He's trying to protect his neck.
Precisely. Yes. He's listening to Busta. And so he's like looking at like the instruments that are happening to it, like working on him and stuff. And you see like his head is disconnected, but it's like, there's wires being worked on, and the hand that's holding the utensil is a Utrom tentacle. And yeah, the coloring though I think is what sells that. I mean, the
coloring
art
is
is
great.
fantastic.
The object source lighting,
yes,
from like kind of coming from the spark of the tool that's being used, and just the way he's lit from the diagonal bottom right is just it makes Futuroid's face very dramatic.
Oh, absolutely,
especially for a face that can't express.
Yeah,
they found a way by him looking down, like kind of panicked, and then this whoa kind of lighting from the bottom and his little frown face that he always kind of has.
He always kind of has, yeah.
It makes him look like he's terrified.
It does,
which is a great thing you can do.
Absolutely.
You know, I could almost see it. Almost be the same challenge if you had to draw a cover of like C-3PO.
Yeah,
and he has to look.
Oh yeah,
shocked. It's tough because his face is solid.
Static. Yeah.
So like, how do you make C-3PO look like, oh my god?
Right.
And you do it just like this.
Yes.
Actually, it's great.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, love it. Also, the shadow of the tool, it makes it look ominous. It looks like a needle.
It does.
It looks like it doesn't look like he might be. It looks like this might be against his will.
Right.
Especially if you haven't read the last issue and saw that Raphael
knocked his block off.
Yeah. You might be like, they're taking his head off. They're burning the cables loose.
Oh yeah.
And he's in this contraption. I love it.
I love it too.
I love it. All right. So this is the issue. Peter Laird on writing and lettering, inking and toning. So he's just like everywhere. Lawson on layouts and penciling. Eric Talbot on inking as well. We have Michael Dooney for the cover painting. Remember Michael Dooney, a big digital art forerunner, especially with this company. And Dan Berger, as always, on production assistance. You always need Dan Berger around.
Oh,
if you don't have that, you don't have anything.
Precisely.
And we flip right to effectively our cover.
Yes.
You know,
my goodness,
just inked and obviously uncolored differently. And I love this. So he's like, my goodness, these random flux patterns in my metamorphic shell are most disconcerting. And the text is like huge. Great job on the lettering. It looks like Reader's Digest, a large print version.
Yeah.
But that's because he's yelling.
Right.
But because he's a robot, he can't really have exclamation points after what he says.
Yeah.
So
it's great.
It's just louder.
Yes.
And I great illustration. Number one, great. A single page splash here, no borders, but or no panel lines, but just, and then of course the clue and great layouts in the bottom right corner. You know, Professor Honeycutt, please de-amplify your vocal modulator. And then we cut in, and for a minute he's shouting again. Yeah, like, oh, forgive me.
Right.
How was this? And we see that Glurm is repairing
Glurm.
You know, Glurm
with an N.
Sorry, Glurm. There's another character we're gonna meet later that's name is like Glurvin or something.
Something,
like,
yeah. They can't.
Come on,
they can't all be.
You know what I mean? Yeah, they can't be all sounds like.
Yeah,
you know, give me something. And we see that that this Utrom is repairing the head, and of course, Professor Honeycutt, the Fugitoid, he's asking about Raphael. Any word on Raphael? And they're like, not really. He kind of got out of here after he knocked your block off. As a little bit of so basically Raphael got bitten by vampires of unknown origin, and unlike an X-Men where you get to be all cool like Wolverine, you're like, I can't be a vampire, but maybe I can. But anyway, Jubes, we gotta get you out of here. In this case, it just turned him into a monster reptile.
Yes.
No vampirism included
yet.
It completely threw off his mutagen balance in his blood.
Yeah.
And got him re-evolving and remutating again. Very similar to what occurred to him in Mirage Volume 1 Tale of Long Ago.
Right.
Where it was like the saddest episode ever where he became a baby turtle again. Well, that was the origin of Flowers for Algernon on this podcast.
That's right.
And all this stuff like that. Anyway, so effectively what's happening is like, there's been reports of a monster stealing a side of beef from a food truck or delivery truck. They think that might be him. And Honeycutt, Futuroid's kind of like, well, I'm pretty sure I know where he is. Really fast. They do give an explanation because he did break out of the hospital, and you did see him create quite the fucking disaster in a place that is supposed to be of healing.
Yes.
And he is knocking dudes through walls.
Right.
And we learn here that some people had some broken limbs. Everyone's recovering. And more importantly, Magrock? Nope.
No, Reptar.
Reptar.
Raptar.
Raptar, the angel, effectively. Of this. He's got claws, but he has like real angel wings. Not archangel, but angel. Yes. We did see Raph knock his ass out of the air and broke both of his wings. Apparently, those should be making a full recovery. So then Honeycutt's like, I tell you what, I bet you I know where they are. They're back at the house. And Glurm is like, oh, that's right. They did live in this sewer. Take us to the house. He's like, I cannot betray my brothers.
Yeah, can't. Sorry.
And he's like, oh, cool. So we then transition out into the city. Has anyone heard from Leonardo? No. You really shouldn't be doing that. And it cuts over to a foot warehouse. And there's something we're going to talk about. The letter section and the rant at the end.
Okay.
Did you read
I did not. I usually save that for you to tell me about.
Okay. Well, we're going to talk about this.
Okay.
What we have is two Foot Clan ninja. One of them has his face mask up and he's smoking a cigarette while he's stacking boxes. Basically, they're saying like, he's like, Karai wouldn't want you to smoke, and he's like, we're gonna die anyway. There's barely any of us left. Those Aztec warriors are like warping in, killing us. They've killed us all over the globe. He's like, if I'm gonna die, I'm gonna have a smoke. And basically, I didn't sign up to the Foot Clan to stack boxes of books.
Right.
This is important for later. I signed up to whip some ass, and now we're gonna die. And then Leo shows up, and they're like, oh shit, and he's like, nope, just here to like hang out and like secure things. So why don't you two beat it? And they're like, well, I guess so. And
he does the whole thing saying that Karai told him that
right.
you're
Karai
good to go.
said, like, I'm going to do security. You guys are good to go. And they're like, well, we'll call her. Or he's like, you can call her. And they're like, he's like, yeah, no, wake her up in the middle of the night. It's all good. And they're like, all right, buddy. And they leave. And
now, do you think Leo did that? Do you think that she did? Or is this
no.
Leo? This is absolutely Leo.
Leo making shit up.
Okay.
Absolutely. Just if he really coordinated with Karai, he would have been like, he would have done the, you can call her, but it's late. She'll be mad.
That's true.
He would have done that. That would have been, Karai would have told them like, hey, Leo's going to relieve you at like,
that's true,
2 a.m. or something like that to make you aware.
Yeah.
He just made this up.
For some reason, to me, it seemed like there's a chance that he could have. I don't know.
Because your boy looking to book it.
Yeah.
Because they're looking to book it on the street,
and he's looking to
book it in some boxes.
That's excellent.
He needs some personal pans.
I'm so proud of you
because they're. I mean,
that's so good.
Who's cooking these days?
Who's cooking?
You know what I mean? Leo's like, I know I'm a leader, but I need to lead my way to some personal pans. You know what I'm saying? And this is like the height of book it, so he's like, or a little after, but he's still in the prime of book it.
Yeah.
So he needs to get the book report done fast. So they leave, and he does have a thought of like, oh, this is the best that. If the Foot Clan, if the Foot Clan is reduced, if this is what the Foot Clan is reduced to these days, then they really are in trouble. He does make a comment because these guys are a little jabronis.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure they've gone through the training to be a foot ninja and like they've got it, but they're a little bit like, yeah, Busta.
But also the Aztec guy has been going around killing all the other Foot Clans and a lot of these the New York branch. So this is kind of like the best they can get. The dregs.
But these are like line foot ninjas. These are like guys that would have been at the bottom of the totem pole if Orokusaki was around. You didn't have all this shit going on with the Aztecs. So he starts looking in a box, and take a look. It's in a book. It's in a book with a huge embossed N on it.
Yeah. And
he looks in, and Eric, what is he seeing in this book? Like, just give me a description of the what you're seeing in page 9 and 10.
It looks like archaic, kind of like a book on like anatomy.
Yeah,
and
it's like a grimoire almost.
Grimoire, like a what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of like something with spells in it and things like that. Like how to, like when you open up a book and it tells you like all the homeopathic stuff and like things, how this works and this is the anatomy of this.
Yeah.
And if you do this and that, and it's got like all kinds of weird, like archaic-esque language in it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
A lot of occult kind of.
Cult, that's
occult looking stuff. Definitely looks like a grimoire too. These look like hand-drawn illustrations. And what makes a grimoire and a spellbook different, if you didn't know, is that a grimoire is created by the mage or by the practicer.
Okay.
It is their own book of reference.
Yeah.
As they explore the arts, the dark arts.
So it's like a journal.
It's a journal, but it's a little bit laid out to also be like
for someone else to read.
They're basically writing an encyclopedia as they're going.
Right.
So they can go back and do it. And then the idea is you can hand down those grimoires, and it's basically the sum of your knowledge. Remember, back in the day, right, we had to write things down or they disappeared.
Right.
So, like, these grimoires exist. The Greater Key of Solomon, the Lesser Key of Solomon are both, like, grimoires that became published books on the occult. Yeah, because it contains a lot of like cross sections. Almost imagine, you know how like biologists, like if you ever seen like Charles Darwin's like journals, they probably show them in school. Well, if you're going to go to school in Florida, maybe not.
Yeah.
But if you're in a regular state that has school about real things like evolution, you'll see that he did these drawings of like a bird, like in profile and whatever. He's like, this is a bird I saw.
We saw it. We do it at Sunday school before we burn them.
Oh, got him. Check out this badass art. Take a photo. It's going to last a little longer. Die. Yeah, the death of all knowledge. So that's kind of what he's looking at. And he comes across a thing where he's like asking himself, and he was doing a lot of outward exposition.
Oh, definitely.
He's talking out loud. He could be thinking all this, but he's just out loud like spells, incantations, mystic potions. What is the foot doing publishing a book like this? It's like anyone in vicinity can be like, you look at the books?
Yeah.
That's not your job.
Yeah.
Security dude. Anyway, corpses. It's like creepy. It's kind of creeping me out. And he wants to talk to Karai about this. He's like, I got to do this. And I got to get her to open up to me because if not, we're screwed.
Yeah.
Something's coming down the pipe. I don't know what it is. I know what's going on in the kitchen, but I don't know what's cooking effectively.
Now, this page right here, where you can see an image in the lower left, it looks like worms are crawling up his leg, and it
like
looks
a
like
centipede or something like
something like
kind
that.
Of thing.
But also, this character has like it looks like it's got horns, and I'm curious if they were going to try to bring Null into this, which is why there's the N on the book. I wonder if that.
And then it says next to his head, it says non.
Right. So I wonder.
Which would be like the Latin for none or nil.
Or null. Yes.
Yeah.
And so I'm curious if that. I don't know.
That'd be pretty sick.
But yeah, that would be pretty sick. But yeah.
Yeah. He's definitely drawn to a lot of this, and there is like a. And what's interesting is like this creature that's shown on page 10, the bottom left corner, has like arm fins.
Oh yeah, I missed
it's
that.
just an interesting, like kind of an emaciated skeleton.
Yeah,
but it's not a skeleton because it has flesh on it. And there's like the snake, which will always remind me of the G.I. Joe movie. The snake's going up, and if the snake gets to the top, like if I see a snake or anything coiling around anything,
I was once a man.
Yeah, that's all I think about. Yeah. Really interesting. Also love the way that they digitally altered this to be pixelated.
Yes,
it looks like a fax almost, like actually. And I do wonder if I'm very curious about this paint on. This is nerdy as hell. I'd love to know if they actually faxed this.
Oh, I'm sure they
to
did.
themselves and then use that asset.
I'm sure they did.
It looks like a fax machine.
He probably.
It's hard to do. It's hard to make it look like this with just art. To draw all these these squares. That's almost impossible.
Laird drew it on his computer, got on his Segway, and went to his fax machine and faxed it to himself, and then scanned it back in, and then went back to his desk on his Segway.
Yep,
absolutely.
And then saw a guy smoking 500 yards away and got befouled.
Yes,
we'll get into that later. A lot of befouling happening.
I love it.
And he pays the price for going on that rant. Trust me. Well, now we cut to page 11, and we are in the sewer.
Home sweet home.
Home sweet home, except for the bottom of page 11, where we see that the carefully constructed. I love this because in different continuities of the Turtles, different volumes, they kind of have different security measures.
Yeah.
This is definitely the most advanced one, where you actually see the mechanics of a steel door, a riveted steel door that is on some kind of hinges, a call box outside, and what looks to be bricks that were placed on top of the steel substrate to blend into the wall.
Right.
Which is neat because we, in various versions, TAS, whatever, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
They have a system.
Like they have a facade that
moves
that
can
away.
be moved around.
Yeah.
This is neat because you can see the inner workings of, I guess, this state or this version of that facade, which is really cool.
Yeah.
And it's obviously been broken open. That's why you can see. And there is a wreck in the lair. And in the very bottom of page 12, we see that it is Raphael, very upset, kind of struggling, holding his head.
A wreck himself.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Hurt people. And here he is, just not having a good time, having an Excedrin headache. And he all of a sudden goes, oh, and like, I guess remembers where like his like where Master Splinter's like room is. And he opens up the little paper wood doors, breaks those, goes in, smells what was like Master Splinter's cot, looks over at the different his books and ephemera that he still had there. And remember, in this continuity, Splinter's dead. Splinter
kaput.
Basically just died of a heart attack, or we don't fully know yet.
We don't know yet.
But like he did die. So even in this transformed state, Raph is like knows I need to go to Splinter, even if he's not thinking very clearly. But obviously looking around does make him feel bad. You can see that he's kind of there.
Yeah.
And and especially, I think he's drawn particularly well in the bottom of page 15, where in the left panel he's looking, and then he looks very sad in the second panel. He kind of looks down with his eyes closed, which I'm just always a fan of when like you have a creature like that, but it's not just a savage like kill on demand beast. Like I think it's cool because he's trapped in this. Then all of a sudden he hears, Raphael.
Yes, and before we go from this page, I'm looking at these pictures of Raphael. Does this kind of look like the grimoire thing that we just saw with the guy? But like if he wasn't a mutant, how he has the horns? And the skin, maybe it's just because the medium is black and white.
Maybe. He doesn't have the arm fins though.
He does not. But I'm wondering if there's a correlation between those vampires and the foot
and
the arcane
the coming of some kind of,
and it got mixed with the mutagen. I wonder if there's something there. Anyway, I didn't. It was just on this page that it hit me.
We do know, and it is canon in this volume and as before, but really in this volume, when in this volume and Tales, that we have seen a very recent depiction of a foot mage in Tales. A full-on foot mage, the guy who was responsible for bringing Orokusaki the Shredder back from the dead last time with the worms, but now he's like, that was science and magic. I'm on this magic-only shit. And we do see the Turtles do destroy that version of Shredder again.
Right.
But the foot mystic gets away.
Yes.
And I can see a mystic
There's a leaning.
vampire.
Yeah.
What can we do? Because we need an advantage. I think you're right. We need an advantage over these Aztecs. Because as just flesh and blood humans, we're getting fucking destroyed. By these guys that carry around like Al Gore quarters.
Oh, that's right. I forgot
shit.
About
like
that.
they got like season 5 and 6 of Firefly like in their pocket. They're from a different time.
Timeline. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. You know what I mean? But yeah, you hear like Raphael. But I do agree with your theory. I think maybe the horns.
There might be
the problem is the horns are also very reptilian.
That's true.
So you're a little bit like, is that just him de-evolving? But
it's true.
Horns, the devil, vampire, occult. I think you're onto something.
There's something there.
This is logged. Just like how I was on that they would never make Ernie Reyes' head by itself. You are on.
I might be
onto another kind of head.
Yes,
which you're pretty good at.
I am. I like to give.
So we hear Raphael, and we cut, and it's really good to see him.
It is good to see him.
Splinter sitting there. Classic Jim Lawson Splinter.
Yep.
Sitting there. He's got that little bit of that dog legacy, which I love to see in Mirage, but it's definitely lost. And he sits there and he says, "Welcome home, my son. Rest here, find peace. Yet let your anger drain away as I taught you. Remember these lessons, these long ago lessons, and find the stillness within." And this is so fucking sweet. Now, Splinter's word bubbles are surrounded by a circle, which means he's speaking etherically.
Yes,
typically in comics, he's not in the room,
or it's like in his brain, or it's Raphael's recollection.
It's Raphael's, yes, like something's happening.
Yes,
and it's not normal speech. They're not speech bubbles. They are in the air.
Yes,
which is probably means it's in the room.
Yes,
but it's not coming from his mouth. So this is not Splinter having gotten away and he's not really dead, but it's still really touching because immediately you see Raphael start to like calm down and like assume kind of like a almost like a worshiping position, not worshiping position, but like a low like bowing to his master.
Yeah.
And Splinter says, "Remember the path to calm." That's it. And of course, there's a sound. So this breaks the whole thing. And Raphael is like, "What, Ralph?" He like runs away.
Yeah.
Jumps through the doorway, freaking out, and it's the answering machine. And it is Casey saying like, "Hey man, don't know if you guys check your machine anymore, but April's missing. You remember how they found out that her real parents weren't her real parents and that she had alien DNA? And also how she got stuck with a dirty insulin. It was like a fucking nightmare come true." Does something happen?
No, I skipped a page. I'm sorry.
Oh. And it basically was a nightmare come true because I got stuck with Baxter's old dirty insulin. And it turns out it had nanobots that more or less essayed me while I was chilling. And then he rewrote. And then it turns out my DNA is not right. And they had to shave my head. And I barely survived.
And my dad drew pictures of me before and my sister before I was around.
Yeah. But drew pictures. So like I'm not even the same age I'm supposed to be. And even Glern's like, "I don't understand your body."
Right.
And then remember all that? Well, that kind of freaked her out a little bit, so she's on the run.
There's one more thing we forgot. And when she got with Renee and went to the future.
She went to the future with Renee.
And was like blown out.
And came back ultra sad.
Yes.
And now is wandering around bald as the day she was born, like gone.
Yeah.
And Casey be like, "So, anytime you guys want to help me find April, that'd be great."
Yeah.
And hangs up the phone. And I love this call too, because just anybody's voice might have just made Raphael destroy the machine or freak out again.
Yeah.
But he recognizes Casey's voice, picks up the machine and tries to say Casey. And that is such an awesome Volume 1 callback.
Oh, yeah.
Because that is the relationship there. It is Casey and Raph.
Well, it's his dad and then his best friend.
Yep. It starts in the micro. It starts in the micro, Raphael Micro. That is the introduction of Casey Jones into the entire universe. And while Casey Jones may have been a Clint Eastwood sounding buffoon in the animated series, he has maintained that origin. I love this.
Yeah.
We're 4 volumes in, and Raphael stops everything and says, "Casey?"
Right. Yeah.
Pretty great.
It's awesome.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love that call to that, and I think that one's for the fans.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You might say, "Oh, well, he's just calming down. He's understanding things," but I think there's a reason.
There's a reason.
He responded to Casey's voice.
Oh,
yeah, his best friend and his father.
Yeah,
were the 2 people he just heard from.
Right.
Anyway, so I'm gonna hand it over to you with some daring undersea adventures.
All right.
With Michelangelo and a woman who is very out of her depth.
Literally. Yes. So we're with Michelangelo. He's still being the basically the escort to the regent or regenta or Sari as we know her.
Yeah.
She is a dinosaur-like species, a sauropod, I think is what they called her.
Yeah.
From
related to the Triceratons,
like a cousin.
Loosely.
Yes. And they're familiar with each other. She's here learning because that's what the Utroms did when they built the Transmat. They got other species to come. They opened
up like Earth tourism, effectively.
Yes.
Yeah.
And even more xenophobia. And so, but more, but also surprisingly less. Like we're seeing sides of both.
They do. It's cool. They do mention in another issue or whatever later down the line. They do mention like the travel advisory where it's like you can go here.
Yes.
Don't go here.
Right.
There are protests here and here.
It's in one of the books we were reading either today or next episode. Yes.
Yeah. And I like that they're like, there is a travel advisory.
Yes.
There should be.
And
things are cool, but they're not 100 cool yet.
I think you would have this regardless of if it's species.
Agreed. No, there's places you don't.
Yeah.
On Earth, you don't go.
Exactly. It's just like when you go on a cruise and you go to a different country, they're like, hey, you might want to. They get tourists, regardless of if your nationality or your skin or whatever. Yeah. They're getting tourists, so just don't go here. It's kind of a similar thing.
Or it's like go to Cancun. Don't walk a block over that way.
Right. Yeah.
Because it's a different fucking world there.
Right.
By the way, most dangerous country to fly into and out of, Nepal. have the most accidents of anyone.
Oh,
airplane accidents.
Oh, there you go.
The Nepalese government is not. Their aviation board is not great.
Yeah.
And there are accidents that are very routine there. So just saying,
where
if
they
you wanted to go to Nepal,
where do they rank with boo-boos?
Oh,
you see what I did there?
They're pretty high with boo-boos.
Boo-boos, accidents, and boo-boos.
Think about it.
Yeah.
I mean, like if you're having an accident, the boo-boos are.
I mean, every accident
is just a boo-boo waiting to happen.
Yeah, that's true.
Literally to the point where the podcast pilot, because he's not a piece of pilot, he literally, or the guy, he basically said like, if you have to go to Nepal, at the end of this whole video, he's like, if you have to go to Nepal, reach out.
Yeah.
Like to our team. There are ways to get there by air that are the safest. There are carriers that are safer. If you don't mind a short bus ride, like he's like, do not fly into Nepal or depart Nepal without contacting us. He's like, we'll just tell you that for free. I'm like,
dang, that's good.
It's like, don't do it.
Right. Yeah.
The problem is Nepal is a huge tourist destination.
Right.
It's like where they make most of their money.
Yeah. Goodness.
But you have an airline that has only one airplane and they have to keep shutting down every 6 months.
Yeah, that's a problem.
That plane's trying to get over the Andes.
Right.
And you're like, that's not good.
Well, speaking of making money off of things, the Regenta Sari is caught in this fishing net, which fishermen are making money.
They're trying to haul in a catch. And the truth is they got a catch.
They did. And Mikey thought he had a catch. And
Mikey,
he might still.
Got re-caught.
Ball still in the air.
Don't forget, so basically, this entire exercise was created by the Siri being just more obstinate.
Yes.
And getting so upset that you can't tell me what to do.
Right.
And swam back down there and got in the net.
Yeah, she got in the net. So now Michelangelo's got to figure something out. So he swims to the top. He busts out a knife. He cuts the line, apologizes to the Gordon fisherman, and
he does too.
And he jumps back in. He dives down, swims super quick, and thankfully there's no electric weeds like there were in the first game, or else they'd be both dead as a doornail. Well,
everybody but you.
Yeah. Except for me, I could do it. I could
beat it, no problem. No video game coach.
I don't like
dad helping.
I don't like to brag, but
just beat it.
Yeah. Well, how funky fresh
100 Rat Kings.
Well, speaking of beating it, Mikey gets funky fresh in just a moment, but before he has to get that net free.
He does.
Or his lady free from that net.
Yeah.
He busts out the knife, which looks, well, I guess it's a fishing knife, I guess. And
it looks like a paring knife, like for literally skinning fish. Like
okay.
It's like one of those like thin, long guys.
So he's like skinning this rope trying to get it, and it's just barely coming through. But he gets Regenta up to the surface, gets her on the beach, and does a David Hasselhoff and gives her mouth to mouth.
He's like, sorry, this is too much.
That kind of thing. You know how breathing works. And so, hey, guess what? It worked.
Yep.
She starts coughing, and she's like, what happened? And she is like beside herself.
Yeah.
Mikey's explaining the whole situation, and she's like, wait, you did mouth to mouth? You mean we shared breath? And he's like, oh, yeah, sorry. I mean, it's the only thing I could think of, and I knew he'd probably get upset about it. She's like, don't apologize. You very likely saved my life, and it's just that, among my people, to share breath is an intimacy, usually reserved for one's mate or one's intended. And he's like, oh yeah, okay. And she is like befuddled, like she's like, I don't know. She's kind of like that look that how I imagine August looked when he realized that pizza was in the oven still.
You got that oven, baby.
Yeah. And so he's like, oh, the oven's cool now. I can go get that pizza.
Write in and tell us if you have a teenager that makes party pizzas in the oven and they've never actually pushed it through the back of the oven, causing it to hit the bottom of the oven and burn all night as the oven cools down while you're trying to go to sleep during the summer and you can't sleep because of the smell of burning, and you wake up the next day and find the forensic evidence of there's no other mess in the kitchen, knowing that your son had not eaten.
Right.
Because if he had eaten,
there'd
be nasty
evidence.
Plate.
Yeah.
There'd be all whatever clean as a
what's clean?
Baby's bottom.
No,
smooth.
That's smooth. Yeah. What's clean?
Clean as a whistle.
Whistle.
Clean
Whistles
as a whistle.
are definitely clean.
Except for the oven that's like, or the calzone now.
Right.
I have a party pizza that's in the back of the oven.
Yeah.
Continue.
Yeah. Let us know. But this is the look that when you told me that story before the show, this is the look that I saw August having.
August. It was like, it'd be like August, 12:45 p.m.
Right.
July the 30th,
Yeah.
And he's like,
yeah.
That face, it's all over.
It's all over.
Yeah, done.
So, she's like, I'm not upset. Not at all. In fact, I'm rather pleased. Yeah? Yes, come with me. Let's return to the sea. Are you sure you want to do this? Go and swimming again after almost drowning. Yes. And we won't be swimming. And Mikey's like, oh. And then.
And we won't just be swimming.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
What do you think they did? Like they just talked?
My mom told me she'd tell me about like what I think's happening here, but I don't want to spread disinformation.
Oh, that's true.
So I need to talk
good.
to my mom.
Okay, yeah. Should we call her? All right, here. Let's call her. Let's call.
Live.
Yeah. Hey, can you explain this,
Mom? What happens when a man and woman love each other?
What happens when a dinosaur loves a mutated Ninja Turtle?
Well, that's the thing. I got my glasses, and they thought I would figure that stuff out.
Right, but
that didn't fix me all the way.
That didn't fix you at all. You can't still see what that is. So anyway, we jump to what is probably very disturbing, but at the same time wholesome. We see Donatello. We're back with Donnie and the researchers and the Utroms that are from the present day, and then these creatures that are giant size.
Speaking ancient Utrom.
Yeah. And
they're in a terrarium.
They're in a terrarium.
They've been shrunken down.
Yeah. And it's
a lot. It's a lot.
It's a lot because last issue we saw throughout this whole series we've seen these different groups of people be brought into this thing. And now we're actually getting to speak to some of these creatures. Well, it turns out that they're trying to mess with one of the Utroms that is inside the exoskeleton. They're trying to mess with his exoskeleton, and Donnie's like, "Not on my watch!" So he smacks him with the big stick on his foot, and then he just swats him away. And I love it because he's like, it's not like aggressive. It's more like, oh, God, give me a second. Like let me do this, and this will figure this out. So Donnie flies out of the area because they're in this like campground where there's like a waterfall because it's coming out of a sewer sort of thing.
But it's all in these like big glass tubes, so it's like a hole in the tube. It's weird.
It's very strange.
He basically takes like what looks like a 20-foot fall into some water
right
through this hole.
Yeah. So he gets a ladder, comes back up. They give him a stick back, and at this point they start to realize that there's no more need for violence because the Utrom that is in the exoskeleton says that because they finally understand how to speak to one another. And so now they're able to, explain what's going on.
Gliminal.
Oh, is that the guy? Is that
Gliminal?
Yeah.
It's like Glurin and Gliminal. Come on, boys.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they're from the same species, so they kind of have a similarity. But this is Gliminal. I didn't write it down this time. Yeah. So yeah. So he's the one that's like looks like a very woodsy kind of creature. Well, we find out he's got this like weird giant sized belt buckle that you get at like the Strawberry Festival or some kind of like, state fair. And he's like, of course, my apologies. I just can't help it. It's been so long since I've seen. Wait. This is wrong. I should do more than speak a language we all understand. An important meeting like this should be face to face. And you see that circle start to like envelop around,
suck into his body. It's like a vortex.
Yeah, it's very body horror.
It is.
And all of a sudden, boop, out pops an Utrom. Now
that's sick.
This Utrom looks a little bit more like a Squidbilly.
He does. He does look like a Squidbilly.
Yeah. If you don't remember, that was a cartoon on Adult Swim back in the day.
Yeah.
And it was about these squids that were like rednecks, and that's kind of what this one looks like. And he goes, "Welcome to our world, brothers." And you're like, Donnie's like, "I'll be damned." And so
they do make him look different.
He does.
Like he looks
a little
just
a little bit more angular and haggard, but not in like a way. He's sharp, but
he's sharp, not like an evil way. Just
no.
kind of in like he looks like he looks a lot more kind of like the form he's crawling out of.
Right,
very angular, wide.
He looks like something that has not had the creature comforts of
he's not
stainless steel technology and things like that, that it had to be in he's got dirt under his fingernails and kind of stuff, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
Got some grit.
He's got some grit.
And but that don't mean he's bad. And so I thought that was awesome. And then we got the to be continued. So do you want to talk about this issue and then get into the So I loved this. I thought this was great.
Great issue.
I did not see them being the new. They explain it next issue.
Yeah.
And but I did not see that at
him like
all.
Like an actual Utrom being inside that.
Right.
Thing.
I thought maybe
that was out of nowhere.
They themselves were a Utrom.
Same here.
That something had happened. But
or like the original Utroms had died.
Right.
And these creatures that were created afterwards had learned their language. But
right.
They were like. these other creatures with a different agenda.
Yeah.
I did not think a damn older Utrom was going to pop out of that bitch.
Not at all.
That's crazy.
Yeah, no. So I loved this.
It was a great issue.
Yeah, and then Raphael's stuff was fantastic. The Leo stuff was good. The Fugitoid stuff, Honeycut was good. This was excellent. The Mikey stuff. I mean, Mikey finally getting his due.
Yeah, Mike.
And
They've been teasing that one out.
Yeah.
And Mikey's doing his thing. They've been keeping up with this like turtle separated thing. You had Leo with the book. You had Donnie with the Utrom. You had Mikey, and then of course Raph is Raph. So they're keeping up with it, and they've kind of re-injected the Casey of it all. In the
Casey in April,
April. So like things are starting to kind of come together. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't think about it that way until you just mentioned it. But yeah, we got the 4 turtles: Casey, April. And then Honeycut,
and hell, even a Splinter.
A Splinter, that was the other one. Yeah, so your whole cast of characters, and like
he popped in for a second. It felt like a really unified issue. I really liked it. It advanced all the stories.
Absolutely, I
feel like they're all turning at the same time too. Like Leo finds this book. Mikey basically gets to where he's gonna do something my mom hasn't really fully explained to me with Siri. Donnie finally meets the Utrom, the guy behind why they're trapped. Everything is kind of, and Raph has the moment with Splinter and with Casey's voicemail. Everybody's reaching a crescendo almost.
Yes.
Which is a big step.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Which is a really great, really well written episode.
Oh, definitely.
So in the letter section, I'm going to be very brief about this. There's letters, they're cool. But of course, Peter Laird has taken to writing kind of like rants or from the mouth of Peter Laird sections from the desk of Peter Laird, dispatches from the mind of Peter Laird. Now this started with Volume 4, where Peter Laird is the guy in charge. Kevin's long gone, and Image is not a thing, so he's got the helm and he's going to talk. We learned a lot about his Segway journeys. We learned about him being upset that people didn't like his Segway journeys.
Yeah.
And this letter section is funny, and I'm going to be very brief. Please do go in and read this, though. It is I'm going to read all this. Updates on Peter Laird. Number 1, he just found out about Firefly. He just bought the season 1 DVD collection.
Okay.
He thought it was stupid when he saw it on TV, but now that he watched the whole thing, he really likes it. And he's hoping, he knows about the movie version of Firefly, which he doesn't even know it's called Serenity yet, because it's 2004, is going to be cool, and he hopes that leads to another TV iteration. I'm sorry, Peter, but you did get Serenity, but that's about it.
Yeah.
Go on to watch Dollhouse, because Summer Glau and also Terminator Sarah Connor Chronicles and all the other good stuff that Nathan Fillion did.
Isn't Tudyk in that? Alan Tudyk, he's in Firefly, right?
Yes, and he's also in Dollhouse.
So he's also in the Tick 2017 remake or live action show.
Oh no, he's great.
And he plays a character called Danger Boat, and he's just a boat that's gay. That's
awesome.
Yeah, that has a dial that can talk. And that's excellent.
Amazing.
It is excellent.
He's great.
Yes.
It turns out Dollhouse has all your coolest people from Firefly. And somehow all the coolest people from Battlestar Galactica,
right,
all on one show, and no one talks about Dollhouse.
And Patton Oswalt.
And Patton Oswalt, and it should be required in
viewing.
School.
Yes,
frankly, Dollhouse is beautiful.
Yes.
Anyway, so Serenity. Then the next part starts out like this. He says, "It's August 19th, 2004, a beautiful late summer day in Northampton. I'm sitting at an outdoor table in front of my favorite coffee joint, working on the next issue. The air is crisp with a slight breeze. Then some wretched jackass sits down on the other side of the table 10 feet away and proceeds to light up one cigarette after another. The foul smoke from these cancer sticks, which he only puffs on every few minutes, leaving them the rest of the time just to burn merrily away, polluting the air for me and anyone else within smelling distance, wafts over to my table, fouling my mood as it befouls my senses."
Oh my goodness.
And he goes on and on and on. tries to bail himself out. Actually, to be fair, I don't know if this guy is truly a wretched jackass. He could be a really decent person for all I know, or he could be a ranted jerk, the ranted jerk I suspect him to be. But his smoking behavior is just one more instance of proof for me that the power of nicotine is simply incredible. It's a drug that makes smart people stupid and stupid people even more stupid, and strips most users of a quality which unfortunately seems to be in short supply at any given moment anyway, and that's empathy. Let me just say, and there's no secret that I'm a smoker, that, you know, and whatever. He goes on to talk about how like wild it was that there used to be smoking indoors at restaurants, and I agree.
Oh yeah,
that was wild.
Yes.
And I would not want my kids sitting around in a restaurant full of other people's cigarette smoke.
Yeah.
They just need to have my cigarette.
Have
smoke.
your cigarette smoke?
No.
Of course. Yeah.
And obviously, just tell you as a smoker, like I don't smoke in front of my kids really.
Yeah.
Unless we're outdoors and there's a bunch of breeze and
you're behind them.
And yeah,
because they're not in front of you.
Yeah, and we're like, you know, we're down. They're not downwind and like all these things.
Yeah.
At the same fucking time, and I love you, Peter Laird. He goes on. It is a full half page, like the right side of the page, top to bottom, and then the other half, like halfway up.
How much of a jackass this guy is? And
yeah,
then he's
it
like,
just goes on the whole thing. And he's gonna catch some shit for this next issue. So this is why I'm actually dipping in on this.
Okay.
He says, where does he say it? Because I want you to sit with this one.
Okay.
Because it is gonna make some shit happen.
Okay.
He says, where does he say it? Okay. He starts to say that smoking makes people stupid.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, they have the non-smoking section in the restaurant.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah. What did the rocket scientists who laid out the place think that just by labeling it so, this non-smoking area would be protected by some kind of invisible force field that would stop all the smoke? I'm like, no, that's why they banned it.
Yeah.
I mean, like, come on. Then he's like, noxious smoke from cigarettes. You have to be a complete moron to begin with. When you start smoking, you aren't aware of the dangers of smoking. It's like, you're talking a lot.
Yeah.
You're calling people moron, jackass, wretched, rancid jackass. I'm like, you're talking a lot of shit about people right now.
And this is 2004.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and he's like, maybe, whatever. Maybe that knowledge is still there in them, but the empathic sense that all humans have to be to some degree. Oh, I need to read this sentence. This is where he gets in some shit next issue.
Okay.
In the letter section.
Okay.
So he says, or maybe you don't forget it, which he's talking about the empathy of like not smoking around people.
Gotcha.
Maybe that knowledge is still there, but the empathic sense that all humans have to some degree. Parentheses, except for maybe some serial killer and Republicans, which would allow for maybe some, would allow her to use that knowledge in the proper way, is somehow suppressed by the effect of nicotine. It is this empathy reduction phenomenon, which also allows smokers to blithely light up on the street no matter who is around them and how close. The addictive power of nicotine completely overwhelms that precious thing that makes living in a world crowded with your fellow humans feasible and tolerable: empathy.
Jeez.
I love you, Peter Laird. I'm about your whole like Segway journeys. I support that. I defended you against people saying, why the fuck are you writing about
you
Segway?
Were there for him,
I was there. I was there for you. Man,
just to turn around and stab you in the back.
You have a lot of things to say. And all I'm gonna tell you is, like, I actually just grow the fuck up. Like, that's all I'm gonna say. Like, this is all the opinions of Ryan Guy, not the opinions of Turtle Soup Podcast.
Yes, yeah. I agree wholeheartedly.
My thing, and honestly, you might say, oh, Ryan, but you're a smoker. Well, I'm going to introduce you to a couple things.
You're also a Republican. I'm kidding.
Number one, the serial killers and Republicans.
Yeah, that's like
he's mad about the election.
Yeah,
he's mad about the 2004 election, which I understand.
But still,
I understand.
Like,
I was mad too.
Yeah,
I was there.
You're throwing a lot of people under the bus.
Throwing a lot of people under the bus. And here's what's important, buddy. Cars make exhaust in your face.
Yeah.
You live in you're living in New Hampshire, but like you go to the city.
Yeah.
Hate to tell you, buddy, but carbon monoxide from cars, way more dangerous and more copious than cigarette smoke.
Why isn't he upset at them?
Why are you not upset at that? Oh, because you can't smell it?
You can smell it from your Segway?
Cool. You can't smell the carbon monoxide. Awesome.
Yeah.
I guess the smell befouls you. I'm like, also, like, you're just up your own ass about this.
Yeah.
And you basically say, and this sounds almost like the Unabomber's manifesto at times. Like, you read how long it goes. I read a little bit of it. You read how long it goes. He's going deep. He is basically saying nicotine is the reason that, like, society, one of the reasons society is without empathy. I'm like, listen.
Yeah,
you're going way out there.
That's a little far.
And I'll tell you this, Peter Laird, in the big old 26. I'm gonna show you how grown up the fuck I am.
Right.
Because now that everybody can buy weed and everybody can vape just weed just on the street, which I support.
Sure.
Yeah, I catch downwind secondhand weed almost all day.
I love it.
I don't smoke weed.
Yeah.
I don't really like it. I don't know why I can't get high. I don't know. These are just from the Ryan files. I don't smoke weed, but I do smoke cigarettes.
Yeah.
So when I smell other people's weed, I'm not gobbling it up.
Right.
At the same time, I look and realize, wow, in a world full of shit, maybe that's not the most important thing to be writing a page and a half about.
Right. In my book that is highly influential and that has kids that read it.
Yeah.
And that, you know.
And like, yeah, don't smoke. I mean, like, you could just have shortened all this up. Like,
that's the thing.
I was sitting outside and this guy lit up a cigarette, and I really don't like cigarette smoke. So I got a little irritated. And I just want to take a moment to say this. Like, if you're reading the book, like,
be considerate.
Be considerate if you smoke. And then secondly, think about if you're starting or if you just started. Think about how nicotine's going to kind of run your shit.
Right.
I'm here to tell you, nicotine does run my shit. I've had times where it doesn't, and I've had times where it does.
Yeah.
And when it does, you're thinking, where's my next cigarette coming from?
Right.
That's what should have been here.
Yeah.
Not some Unabomber manifesto about the lack of empathy.
Right.
That everyone who smokes a cigar, any tobacco product, is inherently without empathy.
But
and compared to a serial killer.
Right. And
it's like, what are you talking about?
It definitely stems from his anger somewhere else.
Absolutely. He's like, Peter Laird, I love you. You're just an angry old man.
Well, hold on. We can talk to him right now because I've got him on the line.
Peter Laird. Oh, that's like those like YouTube drama channels.
Yeah,
where it's like, well, I got him on here right now.
You're
like, and it pumps him in the corner. I love talking to him about this.
Oh yeah, no.
I'm sure he would just laugh.
Probably.
He'd be like,
because he's probably in his vault full of money and just like
he's
swimming
like,
around. He's like, oh hey,
don't care.
Yeah.
But like, anyways, I say this because we're gonna follow up with the letters that. It's interesting in publishing because Peter Laird has the book.
Yeah,
he can say what he wants, and he has.
Yeah,
he's been opinionated, and
sure.
And I don't agree. I don't disagree with everything he said. I like. Yeah, if someone's blowing smoke in your face, that's annoying.
It's more so the length of it, right?
It's how deep it is.
Yeah,
it's the length, and it's like this is the root of the like the destruction of empathy. I'm like,
yeah.
Brother,
well, and we are the deep diving daddies, so
we are.
We might be in the same boat as him. At some
if he said that about like, and by the way, just really fast, last thing clarification. If he said this about people smoking weed, near him,
yeah, same thing.
I'd defend I'd be like, grow the fuck up.
Yeah.
Like, people smoke weed. I didn't tell you this. Like, do you remember, Peter, when you were like 30 years less young or less old? Do you remember? I guarantee you were asked Kevin Eastman smoked up some shit. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah,
do you remember back when like people could just you kind of let people do what they want and you weren't so cranky about it?
Right.
You just said
live
like,
free and die.
You said like I just need to like remove myself from here, or like maybe like if I'm in a place and someone's smoking and I don't like that, maybe I talk to them about it. As a smoker number one, like last thing I'll say too is like as a smoker number one, if you are just sitting outside working on your comic and I light up a cigarette and you're like, it befouls me. Brother,
if you're saying befoul,
if you can just turn to your side, look at me and be like, hey man, could you like take that over there?
Yeah.
I'm downwind.
Yeah.
I'd go like, oh my God. Like I'd be upset I didn't notice you were downwind.
Right. Yeah.
I'd be like, oh my God, I thought you were upwind.
Right.
Holy shit, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Turns out empathy is not linked to you smoking cigarettes.
But see, then he would have to speak to you, and you don't own a Segway, so I don't think he could.
No,
do that.
and that's the other thing. Too.
Yeah, you know, because he's up there on his ivory Segway. But I thought you were gonna say. I thought he was gonna say something about I was sitting there in the beautiful park and this and that and trying to get away, and someone comes and lights up a cigarette, and it just reminds me of 9/11. The tower is on fire, and I'm like.
Oh, Peter!
I was like, where'd you bring 9/11? But then, 2004.
No, I mean he treats it like it's a fucking terrorist attack, though.
Yeah,
like,
it is pretty rough.
Because I recently reread the Unabomber's Manifesto. Don't ask. And
your annual rereading.
Yeah, and God, it's such a corrupted document. But like the main thing is like that rant feels like him. It feels like Ted because he starts on one supposition and just keeps drilling in, making it more and more dramatic, more and more like literally the modern telephone. Eventually, in Ted's book, the modern telephone is the reason that literally we were like global warming.
Right.
And you're like, and like people, the murder rate in Detroit, and you're like,
because of the telephone.
Dude, back up a bit.
Yeah.
Like I could spin out and make any one thing the reason everything's wrong.
Right.
Like, anyways.
Yes.
We're moving on.
We're moving on to Tales.
Tales of the TMNT.
Number 5.
Volume 2, number 5. With that silhouette cover.
You would think that I would like this, but I don't know. It feels a little...
I'm on it. What are you talking about? It's beautiful. It's so unique.
It is very unique.
It does feel like a little bit like almost like you know what this feels like?
Tell me.
You know those alternate retailer blank covers?
Yes.
This feels almost like what an artist would do on your blank cover.
Oh, yeah. It does.
Like if you dropped this Tales, because even the mask and everything, it looks like it wants to be a blank RI incentive to have commissioned.
It does.
Except that like if you gave it to like Peter Laird and he was really, really bored at a con, he would ink all that around it and be like,
he's just
here you go. And
yeah.
you'd be like honored as fuck. You'd be like, I can die now, effectively, because this is so cool. That's what it looks like to me.
Yeah.
But that's from the future.
It is.
Blank RIs were not really a thing then. So
I still like it. I think it's neat. It basically it's a silhouette, but like the reverse of like, so it's black everywhere around the subjects, which presumably it's Leonardo and a ninja that has a Kurosaga. I can't remember how you spell
whatever
it.
Basically, it's like the coolest weapon on earth.
The thing with the you hold a bar and it's got a hook on it.
Yeah.
And then the other end is attached to a chain, but it's like a weight.
Yeah.
And then he's got a sword, and he's got the rice hat.
These are cool as shit.
Yeah. So there's
I
that.
really like it.
Yeah.
I think it jumps out on the newsstand like, wow.
It definitely jumps out. I would have liked a little bit more subtlety. Maybe not so much action. Maybe something more simple. But it just looks. I don't know. Something. It's just not doing it for me. And that could be me in this moment right now.
Well, let's see if I can turn you around.
Turn around.
Turn the page.
Hope you read this because I didn't.
There's not much reading to do.
No, this interview with Jim Lawson thing.
Oh, it's almost worthless.
Okay.
Okay. The first page, you're going to see it here, an interview with Jim Lawson conducted by Stephen Murphy. It's cool.
I wasn't on this. I did the whole time we were talking about the comic. I didn't go. It's fine, but you can look over.
Did you not see the cover?
It wasn't on.
Go back to the cover for a second.
So we'll go back to the cover for a second.
Let them see the cover.
So there's the cover.
That's the cover
Sorry,
we're talking about.
I got too excited.
Video. You don't have to Google anything.
There you go. So that's what we were talking
cover.
about.
It looks cool.
Thank you.
So now here we go. Now this should have been at the end of the comic. I don't like it as a frontispiece. I think it's weird. It is a very friendly interview from Stephen Murphy interviewing Jim Lawson. It only pertains in the very beginning, in really the first question, which is, how did you come up with the idea for this issue's silhouette style of storytelling? And Jim Lawson says, other artists have used this technique before, and I've used it sporadically in the past, a panel here and there where I thought the kind of stark emphasis was needed.
Okay.
I love the thought that has to go into designing each panel, expressing shapes and figures through just an outline. I love that challenge.
Okay.
The rest of it's just about all the other stuff he does, like non-TMNT projects. Eventually about his like education, where he came from, and a really weird question about Stephen Murphy thinking it's kind of funny to remind him of the time that Stephen Bissett, when he was working on Tales, said that referred to Jim Lawson as, quote, an excellent draftsman. Something which he says upset Laird or Lawson at the time. He says, why was that? And Lawson denies it. Say, I don't recall being upset. And Seymour says, I was there. You were pissed all day. and then Lawson says, haha, well, that phrase sort of takes all the life out of what I do, which is funny because it's like, you remember it.
Yeah. I wasn't mad. I wasn't upset.
I wasn't mad. And he's like, well, if you really want to know, it guts my entire point of being.
It makes my whole existence worthless.
It's the reason empathy is gone in our society. It is the reason democracy has failed.
Right, yes.
It is the reason that more women are befouled by unwanted pregnancies, and that is why there's rats in the sewer, and it's all because you blew smoke near me.
And they're making the frogs gay.
And they're making the frogs gay also because I was called a draftsman.
Yeah.
But unlike Larry, doesn't go on very long. He says, well, that phrase sort of takes all the life out of what I do. It's too technical. Although I can see where he was coming from because I am pretty anal about my pencils. They're very, very detailed. End. Like I said, this interview is weird, and it probably should have been at the back of the comic where you care, or it should have bypassed all this other crap about what are you reading lately and all this stuff. I know I'm the guy doing we're the garbage podcast. But like it's not a focus. It's not even a focus interview about the issue. If you would have talked longer and more about how they did the layouts for the silhouettes, what inspired it, the technicality of it. How maybe it took them a really short time or maybe longer than you'd think.
Instead of just being like, hey, so what inspired you to do this? Oh, this thing I've done in the past. Okay, cool. So let's talk about all this other garbage.
Yeah. Oh, you remember what's your plan for like Moto Guzzi? And by the way, what's this and that? And what are you reading? Not much. What are you into? Motorcycling, anime, watching cartoons with my kids, and lake kayaking, drinking Molson beer. I wonder if Peter Laird has the same opinions about people who get drunk in public as he has about people that just smoke cigarettes in public and it befoul him. Because I'm pretty sure Lawson drinking Molson beer and getting a little loose would befoul me. I don't drink.
His opinion seems to have befouled you.
Yeah, it befouls me. I don't drink. So when people are drunk as fuck around me, I find it kind of annoying.
Yeah, I'm really cool when I'm drunk.
But I'm gonna, you know what it is?
I'm a sexy baby.
End, I'm like kind of sad when I'm drunk. I get very contemplative.
I'm kidding. No, I'm joking.
I can have fun, but like I gotta have other people there supplying the lift.
I'll get
alone and I'll sit and like I'll
I don't know if you and me could like the fuck or fight thing would probably it would be weird.
Know.
But like
I was pretty tipsy at TA30 when you were there.
Oh, that was true when you held court.
Yeah, I did. I held court.
You held court everywhere you go.
Yeah, because I didn't. I mean, we didn't have any ice, so I was making screwdrivers, and I just made this one where I was like, "There's no ice. I'll just make a screwdriver that's the size of an entire like Dixie cup."
Yeah,
and that'll get me by.
Sure. Yeah.
At 5 p.m, having not had any food.
You'll be fine.
I'll be fine. Then I'm like tripping everywhere, and I'm like,
yeah.
Oh, I've been tipsy. I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
Anyway,
so no, I get very touchy and effeminate. Like I just get very like, oh, it's my, the thing that guys like. I don't know so much that you do it, but I do it where like if I'm with women or I have to say something to a woman or something and I don't want her to feel threatened by me, I turn the gay up a little bit to where I'm like, oh hey girl, what's up? Like and I get a little sassy.
I can't do that. I'm
okay,
too straight.
Okay, so I'm not. So I turned that up a little bit, and because my wife Shannon was watching something the other day, and something about that came on, and it was a guy asking if you do that. It was like some TikTok thing.
Oh,
and
it turned the gay up.
And it was him doing it in real life, and he's like, yeah. And I was like, oh, I do that. And I'd never heard it phrased that way before, or at least that I recall. And so, yeah, that's pretty much me being drunk is just like, oh my gosh. Yeah, anyway, sorry. Anyway, so let's get into this issue. So, do you have the beginning or do I?
Yeah, I'll do the beginning.
Okay, go for it.
So this is like one of those, I mean, there are words, but it's very enough said. Like, and I love it. I love it because this is so cool.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to turn you around this issue because I love it.
Okay, go for it.
They already call their shot. Opening page 1. It is Leonardo holding what at the time is like a toddler shadow.
Yeah.
And there's a flashlight on the bed that's casting a silhouette in reverse in black, which I'm like, let's go. And it's Raphael basically talking about how Shadow's afraid of the dark. And he's like, perhaps it's better just to hold her and let her believe that I can fix the dark, like with this flashlight and stuff, and that creatures and things to fear don't come out of the dark. But, she'll learn eventually herself that, like, soon enough she'll learn the subtleties of life and fear, and things won't be so black and white. Yeah, in time. But for now, let me tell you a story. I love this image.
Yeah.
It is not just a silhouette. It is right because it is like fully drawn. But the shadow of shadow, which is a thing.
Yeah.
And the flashlight showing a silhouette on the wall is a perfect introduction to what's happening.
Oh yeah.
And I think that's such a good frame.
Yeah.
Now we cut to Blind Faith, and even this title page is so badass.
I love that because
dude,
you almost hear the loud
like
boom.
Yes,
like
yes. Yeah. And on the bottom, you have like again the little silhouettes that you're going to see later. They get introduced. So we have story and pencils, Jim Lawson, which is again, I really want to give him credit for the story here as well. We're going to talk about the story later, and we might forget to like round it about. But like Lawson doesn't do a ton of story writing at this era, at least.
Yeah.
And I really want to give him credit because this story I think is also fantastic. Peter Laird laid inks and letters in this thing beautifully, which you will see given that most of it is inking. And the frontispiece was by Michael Dooney, which so good, that image of Raph holding Shadow.
Leo or Raph?
I'm sorry, Leo.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Holding Shadow, that's Michael Dooney, beautiful. And the cover was Lawson and Laird because they're the two guys really doing art for this book.
Could you imagine being a toddler and being scared of the dark when your uncles are Ninja Turtles and their dad is a rat? That's wild. Like, what are you afraid of?
Shadow's probably afraid of like dude from the IRS.
No, that's true.
Like person trying to sell like shit at your front door knocking.
Right.
You know, like the opposite of things that we find just like normal.
Yeah.
She's probably like, it's the pizza guy again.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like
that's kind of how I am sometimes.
No,
yeah, you made fun of me about it before.
I
Guys come up to my house, and Shannon will sometimes do it too. But you made fun of me one time. You're like, just answer the door. I was like, no, it's not that I'm not afraid of them. I don't want to talk to them, but you love talking to people.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna like hold the like mailman up for 2 hours. I might. Yeah, but I probably won't. My thing is just like confront it and like get done with it. The reason I got on you is because we were doing an episode of Turtle Soup. This is before the live days, so we were live, it was just audio. So we were recording. And we had to stop recording. And Eric approached the front door like it was like a fucking hitman.
Yeah, I probably did.
He kind of looked through it and he's like, did a little shh. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
And he's like, look at the door. He's like, I
don't know. And when I walked towards the door and when that sound when you're on your tiptoes, yeah.
And I just remember being like, so I listened. We're in complete silence. And he's like, okay, he's gone. I'm like, who was that? And he's like, oh, it was a mailman or something. And I'm like,
it was like some other guy.
It was some other shit.
Mailman comes and goes. Yeah.
You know what I mean? But he's like, oh, it was like Amazon or something. And I'm like, what? And we had this whole thing, so I did make fun of you a lot. That might actually be on an episode somewhere. I don't
More
know
than
if
likely,
we talked about it or we didn't. But I nowadays with phones and stuff, if someone hadn't told you they're coming, you hear knock,
yeah,
that's like a neighbor or that's not a good thing or something annoying. Yeah, I'm not a fan of it.
Yeah.
Okay, so we open up single page splash of a guy, and it's our
antagonist.
Yes, it's our antagonist for the episode. And by the way, white lettering on black. It's the last thing I saw, a cloud of Tetsubishi, which are those little caltrips, and these look so cool in the air. I love it. And he gets struck by him, and Leo goes down. And again, all just black and white silhouettes. I'm like, let's go.
Yep.
Black and white silhouette does make the front tail look like a different
looks
thing.
Like a lot of different things.
In each panel.
Yeah.
So I feel that. That might not be great.
Okay, you turned me around already.
Oh yeah, right. So he pulls out one of the caltrips and he's like, it's drugged. I've been drugged. He's like, my head swims. And
he's befouled.
He got befouled. That's what happens to Laird when you light up a cigarette.
That's what happened. That's what
hits the ground, and he's like, "I'm blind," like I've been befouled. So he's down, and he automatically starts to listen to his other senses, mainly his hearing.
Yeah.
A little bit of a love letter to Daredevil too.
Absolutely.
I think, because these guys were just big Daredevil fans too. Yeah. So they kind of helped launch their comics. So, I don't want to read all this dialogue because all this narrative is just so cool. But it's like I think I'm not going to do it justice. Well, but the basic idea is he can hear him moving, his tongue twisting in his mouth, and the laces of his boots stretching, the clenching of his fist. I hear all of it. This is what I've been trained for. I'm ninja. And he notices that the guy's standing there, like he's not finishing him off. Yeah. And that's when he realizes that he is challenging Leo. He realizes, he wants me to fight him blind. And he's like, well, if he wants that, then I got to go for it. Mm-hmm. So it's just so cool because like the pages split at one point, and you see them each, like you see the antagonist launching toward Leo, and Leo in like a ready stance, like kind of down. I'm trying to find the specific lines that are great. It's a little hard.
It's hard for me to read.
Cool Uncle's a little. It's not a great situation here. But he says, how many battles have I fought in complete darkness? This is the same but different, right? Mm-hmm. And he uses it to concentrate to make his move. He jumps, and it's just a lot of description of what's happening. It's just a cool issue to read and to look at.
It's more than a fight issue, but
it's more than a fight issue.
It's also a fight issue.
Slowed down, but it is a fight issue. Yeah. I'm gonna really let's see here. So Leo's focusing. There's a whole page with no dialogue where it's just again, if you like the silhouette style, it's really cool. Like they're really fighting for it. And Leo gets knocked back. I'm trying to find the halfway point and make sure I don't blow past it. Because there's no visible page numbers. No. So again, they're fighting. And there's a homeless guy. So Leo notices that someone is struck. That the ninja strikes someone, or the antagonist strikes someone. But he smells the smell of like wet wool and body odor, cheap cigarettes, befouled, cheap alcohol and stale cigarette smoke, befouled. And he's basically like, wait, is it a trick? What did he do? Oh, it's this homeless guy. Oh, I hate that he got caught in the crossfire. That sucks. Yeah. So they go up to the rooftop, which I'm like, Leo, that's balls. Mm-hmm. You're blind, bro.
And you go into the rooftop.
And this guy earlier he says like, I wait for the poison to seize my heart. It never does. Mm-hmm. Oh, I think he wants me to be blind. I'm like, that's terrifying. Mm-hmm. It's even more terrifying than like, oh, I just killed you. Yeah. It's like no, I want to fight you blind, bitch. And right. Like, oh God. And he says like, eventually Leo's like, this is a test. Let's hope he's that he's impressed. Mm-hmm. And they start fighting some more on the rooftop. Yeah. And then they start talking.
Yeah. Do you want me to take over here?
Yeah.
So the guy in the rice hat, the antagonist, who looks like a foot ninja, but we don't really know. He says, "Do you remember me, creature?" And Leo says, "Yes." And he goes, "I was obviously lying."
The best part is he says, "I lie."
I lie. Yeah.
Like
that's
right
what
okay.
That's what I was saying. Yeah. It's okay.
He I don't know you.
Yeah. He's like, "I lie," but well, I've battled a lot of people. I've battled. Yeah. Actually, he says, "Well, I've battled everybody." Yeah. And he's like, but he's pondering my words, trying to figure out if I'm lying. And he goes, "Why do?"
He said, "We did battle.
We did battle together. So you recall
what you
did to me?" And basically, Leo is like, "Yeah, I beat you.
I defeated you. I mean, that's what you're talking about."
And he's like, to a lesser man, if that would be considered defeat. But basically, he blinded this guy.
I like how you removed all the dialogue because you can't really read it that well.
I can't read it from where I'm at. Yeah.
He says to a lesser man, it would be considered a defeat. To me, it was a gift, sight beyond seeing. Okay, and then I love this because this slim panel in the middle. Sorry, I'm just gonna just
no. You're good.
For
you're
just
absolutely
1 second. Good. This panel, I love this. I love this page. In the middle, horizontal panel, Leo's mouth is open slightly, and this is the dialogue, or this is his thoughts. I blinded him in a battle with the foot. I blinded him, and now he's returning the favor. This is his revenge. And the guy says, "Yeah, after it happened, the real injury occurred. The foot retained my services, but as a mere weapons polisher in the armory. The indignity of it. The fire that burned within me could not be doused. I continued to train and develop my skills. Now I walk in perpetual darkness, yet see all." I'm like, so I'm reading this, and I'm like, okay, Jim.
Yeah.
This is goddamn cool.
Yeah.
Like, this story is cool.
Right. Now, this is all because that guy said he's a good craftsman or a good...
an excellent
draftsman. Yeah.
Yep. And he was like,
and this is
I'm
him.
going to prove you wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, no, thank you for reading that because like you need to read this issue. It's a good issue. I was just cool. Mostly talking about the black and white on the cover, but now that we're in it, I do remember like the actual imagery is fantastic.
Yeah.
And then the story's great too. But like, yeah, so it's the whole conversation about being blind and how they're fighting, and then Leo's having to deal with the fact that he hurt somebody, even if they were fighting together. But the idea of having your sense of being and who you are taken away from you, and that how you have to adapt and this and that, and he's figuring this all out while he's fighting with this guy.
And this is just a little bit the last dialogue I'm probably going to read, but it's one of the coolest moments in the story.
Okay.
Is you see now basically he's explained like what happened and how he was an armor polisher and he was like whatever and he kept training. He says, in the years after losing my sight, I was filled with a purpose to achieve nothingness and so become everything. And when you flip the page, Leo's lost him. Like Leo says, like, I can't feel him anymore. I know he's there, but there's no sound, no smell, no sense of him. Again, I try to focus my head swims with the strain. He's gone. It's some kind of sensory block or mind cloak. I feel weak. And that's goddamn awesome.
Mm-hmm.
It is so goddamn cool that he basically, it's not just like, oh, you blinded me, so I blinded you with poison. Now come fight me because now we're both blind.
Yeah.
He's like basically trying to tell him, like, not only did that like make me want my revenge, but it actually changed inherently my entire being.
Mm-hmm.
And now, like, I am perfectly nothing.
And then also you created this.
You
have to deal with this.
And so your boy now, it's not supernatural. Like Leo almost like thinks it's supernatural. Like it's some kind of like sensory mind cloak or something. But the truth is, this guy, through years of just polishing weapons and going back home and being like, I'm fucking worthless, basically learned how to literally
disappear,
become nothing. He embraced nothingness. And now he has no traces. That execution, then when you flip the page and you see Leo by himself with like the structures, and he's thinking and he's looking, the bottom where he's looking up, and there are birds in the background. Those are things that Leo can sense.
Right.
He can even sense these birds far off, but he is alone.
Right.
But he knows he's not alone.
Yeah.
That is so damn cool. That is just like,
it is
so good.
Now, the thing that's taken me out of it a little bit is that, do you remember Homestar Runner?
Yeah.
So he's like a white character that's just like Homestar1 is .com. And he's got his mouth open all the time. So these images of Leo with his mouth open just has me putting Homestar in this.
Okay.
And sorry, just a little levity there. But no, otherwise this is fantastic. Besides that and the front tail, just
there we stick with the front tail.
You could have.
It looks like one thing or another thing.
Yeah.
It's actually not like many things.
Yes.
It looks like
use your imagination.
Yeah.
You have to,
whether it's coming from the front or coming
back. Either way,
something going
something's happening down there. His downstairs mixing.
Yeah.
Well, they're still mixing it up here. Leo's slashing at the air, trying to figure out what's going on. Nothing. Then he does.
You don't see that guy still.
Anytime
He's just fighting nothing.
Anytime you are blind or your one of your senses are dulled, it almost always happens near. This is scientific, by the way. You can take this to the bank. It almost always. I got my eyes closed right now to to kind of symbolize a little bit of it.
Yeah.
Right, but like there's almost always a water tower that's nearby,
Correct.
and the way that you can kind of like overcome and rebalance yourself is by doing a kickflip off of that, like running up the wall and then bouncing off.
It's reset.
Proven. It's a reset.
It's kind of like turning your hearing sonar vision off and back on again.
Yes, exactly. Because then that way you know where the water tower is, and that's if you're thirsty or if you're on fire, you got options. So Leo does that.
It is cool because he does land, and all of a sudden the image of the guy crouching comes back to him,
and so now he can sense him again, and they keep going at it, and it's just fight.
So good.
It looks like that's blood or water.
Yeah, it looks like water on the ground. It could be blood.
Yeah, I think it's blood. And then,
dude,
yeah. So
the image of him getting kicked into that wall right there, so good.
Yeah, Leo gets kicked into the wall. It's
everything breaks apart, all like the bricks and like the just all the stuff is great.
Oh yeah, and so they keep fighting, and let's see. I can't.
I got you. Were you looking to see what Leo says?
No, I'm looking to see what the guy says in that one panel. It's after.
Oh, it's after Leo's thing.
Yeah.
Leo basically says, like, you should have stuck to polishing swords. You're good, but I'm more than you, as you can see. Oops, forgive my poor choice of words. Because he says,
"Oh, because you can't see." Yeah,
Yikes. He says, "You insolent dog! How dare you mock me?"
There we go. That's what I was looking at. And so Leo gets him, gets him right in the chest, and he falls back, and it's just like, he's all got his hand up, and so Leo
I
did
hear
it.
the blood filling his chest cavity and his heart slowing. Here's what's fucking cool. Is because his sword is through his chest.
Yeah.
So he can feel the vibrations up because he's blind. So he's every sense. He feels the weight of the blood on his blade in the cavity. He feels the heart slowing. Yeah. Through his blade. That is like wild. Yeah. That is so good.
Yeah. And then he's just like contemplating this, and he's like, I've killed. Like, oh.
Yeah. He's basically like I stand there huffing and puffing, letting the sounds.
Right. But then we realize that it's not the ninja.
He's the smells of alcohol and cigarettes. I step toward the body and reach down. Tattered wool, the stench of the streets. No, it can't be. It's impossible.
Yep.
How did he do this? I've failed.
Yep.
Bro.
Chekhov's homeless man. You know what I'm saying?
That was Chekhov's homeless man.
You don't show the homeless man unless you're gonna come back to him. And
the realization creeps in. He had absolute control the entire time. He could be behind me right now, sword poised to deliver the final blow, and I don't even care. For I know his intent was never to kill me, but rather to take my sight and then my soul. He got his revenge. And I couldn't even remember him.
That's the thing that got me.
Let's fucking go.
Yeah, that was...
That is so fucking good.
Yeah,
that's so good.
So the last image is the ninja, or the warrior on the... standing, looking out over
the city.
Yeah.
And kind of, I did it. And I did it in such a crazy ass way, because that's the thing that's terrifying, is that you had one interaction with this guy and you took his sight. And then you lived as like Leonardo, and you saw everything, and you ran around and whatever. And this guy was just polishing swords, like thinking and like learning. And like learning basically his own stealth craft. Like I was teaching him in the Foot Clan, like, oh, this is how you become a ghost. It's like, no, he just like thinks about it all the time. And then he takes everything that he's learned, and instead of like putting it to use in the Foot Clan, instead of like whatever, he's like, no, I'm just going after Leo. You know how hard it is to find Leo? Yeah. When you can't see?
Oh, of course.
Then he
much less when you can.
Right? Then he plays tricks on your ass. Yeah. It's like, do you know who I am? You're like, maybe. And then as you kill a guy, because he's like, and that's legit. That's some. I'm not trying to spoil. That's some blood bending. Oh shit, is what that shit is. That's some of that. Like, I got you on the back half. Like, and you think you had it several times. You didn't have it. Actually, nope. You're a murderer, and I'm out. And I'm like, dude.
Yeah, that's tough,
dude.
I love it. Yeah,
great issue.
It was a really good
again,
issue.
Jim, story.
Yeah,
such a neat little nugget of a concept. It's not enough to make a big story arc out of in Mirage. It's none of those things. It is a tale story, and it is poignant. Yes, and some of the most poignant, hard-hitting stories have come from tales. So I love this.
Oh yeah,
this is a top Tales issue for me overall. Yeah, I mean,
it's definitely
volume 1 and volume 2. I love this issue.
Yeah, this was great.
And it's sure the silhouettes are cool. I just want to say, well, the silhouettes are cool, but it's also the story. If this was fully drawn, without the silhouettes, and let's say they did an effect when you were in like Leo's perspective, everything was nothing. But whatever, it would still be cool.
Oh yeah.
But then with the illustration, and the last thing I'm going to say is there's something very cool at the end of this comic. It's a little teaser for next week. has Tales of the TMNT, and it shows a guy underneath with a scar across his face.
Oh, that's true.
It says, fans of Archie Comics' late lamented Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Adventures comic book series, get ready to rejoice. That book's creative team of Coleraine and Allen returned to comics after nearly a decade. This issue focuses on the tumultuous and often violent lifelong relationship between Leonardo and the foot soldier known as Cha Ocho. Ever wonder how Cha got that nasty scar across his face? Find out in 60 days.
Woo!
And spoiler, we've already read this issue.
Yes.
And Turtle fan, be ready.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
The issue is sick.
Yeah.
And Coleraine and Allen. Bro.
Yeah. No.
That dude, I'm on the newsstand. I'm like, okay.
Oh yeah, buying that.
See you in 60. See you in 59.
Oh,
I'll be day and date. I'll be
Yes.
there waiting for that comic store to open.
Right. Oh,
when,
yeah.
when that truck pulls up,
Oh,
I'll
yeah.
be like, can I get mine off the top? That should be like Monday.
Yeah.
I'm like, can I get that new comic? They're like, no, bitch, it's Monday.
Gotta wait.
I might rob a comic truck just to get it.
I was just about to say you might do that.
Anyway.
That's what you might do.
Yeah, so Dean Coleraine, Chris Allen,
Mm.
and of course, as we all know, Dean Coleraine has a secret identity.
Yep. Murphy.
Stephen
right?
Murphy, who's currently back with Mirage doing everything. So it's a little bit of a Murphy gets to put on his old face again, which is, we're talking about that more next issue or next episode, but like that's super neat.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Anyway.
Well,
good stuff.
Yes. Well, let us know what your thoughts are on this. Let us know if you like black and white issues. Let us know how you feel about befoulment. Let us know.
Are you befouled?
Are you nicotine?
Did my rant befoul you?
Are you loving these issues? Like, what are your thoughts? Are you scared about? Were you worried about NECA? Are you excited about Mattel? Let us know all your thoughts.
Are you trying to tell me you have a teenager who never put a party pizza in the bottom of the oven?
That's true. We got to figure that out.
I need to see your evidence.
We need to see your evidence. So send us your evidence at turtlesoupshow@gmail.com. You can find us on the home of the internet, turtlesoupshow.com. You can also find us on the socials. We're kind of there. And then also you can find us at patreon.com. Turtle Soup's done been making a podcast. We got some stuff going out. I've got
support it, baby.
I ordered the stickers. The new stickers are on the way. The patience. What does it say? Patience appreciated.
Yeah, appreciate your patience.
Or appreciate it. Patience appreciated.
I just saw it the other day.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And so I just ordered those, and I got all the magnets made, so I'm kind of collecting all of the stuff, and I'm going to be sending them out.
We're doing it.
So, so be excited. And, we should be back pretty soon with another episode, but thank you for everyone. Thank you to our patrons, and until then, else time.
Else time.